15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Not sure if this came across your ticker, but Sky Moore got traded to the 49ers, but that's not the real story. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Pearl, you know, we're kind of obsessed with the 49ers around here, amongst a lot of other teams. But, you know, this was not a move to me that really signaled anything. It was basically a guy who comes over for free. Almost. They basically just swapped 6th and 7th rounders with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think there was this idea that somehow the 49ers wide receiver room is so bad right now that like they're just scrambling for any kind of healthy body or someone with a heartbeat. And I just don't see it that dire for San Francisco. You know, I've been critical of Brock Purdy. Yeah. I've been critical of Kyle Shanahan. It's not that they're above reproach, but I don't see a snake-bitten, sky is falling type of season like what we got a year ago with San Francisco. That was all-time bad luck, bad mojo, bad everything.
But how would you know if a snake-bitten season is coming that way? Like last year, we had no idea. I mean,
we kind of did. I mean, Brandon Ayuk was in and out of the headlines. You know, Ricky Pearsall got shot, survived, thank goodness. You just had a lot more negativity around the team last year.
I would say 100% of experts picked them to win the NFL West. Literally 100. Show me a single person who didn't. Nobody.
Not me.
Oh, who'd you pick?
Rams. I was talking about the Niners Kumbaya season being over last year.
It was just, there was an avalanche of stuff that happened last year. And you lose in overtime in the Super Bowl. Like, that has to have some kind of impact.
Yeah, but I mean, they were probably the most popular pick out of the NFC last year, right? I mean, I just say, like, a snake-bitten, an injury-plagued season, I don't think there's any cold science that can predict that. And my point is, like, but this season is shaping up just like last season. Like, why would you not think everyone's going to get hurt? Christian McCaffrey's a year older. You know, they have no depth at all at wide receiver. Brock Purdy has his money, but he already has one injury on his offensive line that we don't even know about. Like, what's different? Why would you not think, like, the bad luck would continue?
Okay, so one of the things that, remember last offseason, remember how cagey and weird the 49ers were being about Christian McCaffrey? It was like, we didn't even know that he may have been holding in or holding out, and then all of a sudden he got some extra money, and it was like, no, he's going to be fine, he's going to be fine.
It was for the wedding, Maggie.
It was for the wedding, I know. But he ended up having to go, they were kind of like not being truthful about his, or being forthcoming about his injuries. And it was like they kept saying like nothing, but we wouldn't see him on the practice field. Now, at least now with him and Kittle and some of the older veterans that you are going to be relying on, I'm watching them out there. You know, there was that moment when Nick Bosa didn't show up for a couple practices, what have you, but he's back. Like, I don't know. I thought last year you couldn't go a day without a negative headline coming out of San Francisco. And they were all types, all varieties, all flavors. This one, to me, feels much less chaotic, and I think they can also take advantage of some uncertainty in the NFC West. You know, I know that Matthew Stafford is back at practice, but, you know, are you really betting your entire life savings that Matthew Stafford's going to be healthy for 17 games or even half of that? You know, until Sam Darnold can actually do something away from either Kyle Shanahan or Kevin O'Connell, then I'm going to have to see what that looks like. And then the Arizona Cardinals, I think, were having the same season, like Groundhog Day for them. And sometimes they can be a little frisky, but they're not contenders. So to me, this is shaping up really well for the 49ers.
Yeah, we had this discussion yesterday. I think the NFC West could put multiple playoff teams in, and the 49ers have a great chance. They're right there, but I would not discount those other three teams. Why would you bet against Matthew Stafford? I mean, the guy's been falling. He's been held together by glue for 4 years. And last year, who was the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC? The Rams. It came out of absolutely nowhere. They weren't even good earlier in the year. Then they just figured it all out. Like, say that about Matthew Stafford. Just don't make me face him in a playoff game. Dude is terrifying.
Dude, you're going to be facing Jimmy Garoppolo or Stetson Bennett. I'm sorry.
Did you see him in practice? You say you know that, but Matthew Stafford's been beat up a million times. We've thought that guy was dead.
Well, he actually did miss games 2 years ago, so he's not like he's some, he still is
Bionic man.
a human being. But the other part is, it's one thing for him to look good in practice where no one can touch him or come within like 5 feet of him. It's going to be another thing when he's out there live.
Yeah, also, I'll even go. I think Jimmy G can definitely win games there. This is Sean McVay. I think you can't count that team out. I'm fading them a little bit. Like I was thinking about picking them for the Super Bowl. I'll be honest. After last year, I'm like, because that defense is so young and coming up. Like if they take another step, then wow, watch out. If you still have Stafford. Now, listen, I'm reasonable. I understand the back injury. Seattle and Arizona are the two like analytic darlings. Like the football nerds are all about those teams because of their defenses, their run game. Can you see either of them being bottom feeders? That's the issue. Like you need some bottom feeders to get a gaudy record in your division. Mm-hmm. I can't see either Arizona or Seattle being in the Cleveland, New Orleans discussion. Like I think they're both pretty talented rosters. Like, you're right. There's a big question with Sam Darnold, but if you go through the depth chart of the Seahawks, like, ooh, there's a lot of good players.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned like New Orleans, like that. They literally get to play New Orleans. This is the crossover is the NFC South, and they actually get to play Cleveland. the 49ers do because of the last place schedule because they only won 6 games last year. So their schedule cannot line up any better. Yeah, it's going to be tough maybe in the division, but it's always kind of tough. But you're telling me you wouldn't sign up for this schedule 100 times out of 100 when you get to play the Jacksonvilles and you get to play Carolina and Cleveland, by Tennessee with a rookie quarterback, Indianapolis with no quarterback.
Well, all 4 teams play all those teams. So, yeah, they did. That's a nice little matchup.
But not Cleveland. Not Cleveland, because that's
so you get a little edge with Cleveland the last
Who knows who's going to be starting for the Cleveland Browns on November 30th?
Yeah, I mean, like the Niners.
The wheel.
The Niners have the easiest schedule according to some metrics.
Yeah.
But the Seahawks and Cardinals are right behind them. I mean, this happens all the time where you get the AFC South and you just start eating wins. It happened to my NFC East a few years ago. I think it just happened in the NFC North. So all those teams are going to be dangerous. I think it's much more of a dogfight than you're setting up. I think a lot of people are picking the Niners just because of the easy schedule to roll this division. I think we're going to see a lot like last year. What was it? 10 wins, 9 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins. I think you're all going to beat each other up and get right around that 9-10 win mark.
Yeah, there's something about this Niner team, though, that's still, to me, we're talking about the 49ers doomed for another snake-bitten season. There's something about this 49er team, to me, that I feel like I think they have a legitimate reason to feel like they've come out from the other side of this thing. And I understand that even though Ayuk is hurt and Demarcus Robinson, now we find out yesterday is going to have a 3-game suspension. And that's probably why they decided to trade for Sky Moore, who's been a massive disappointment. Like, I don't know. If you can't really thrive in the Kansas City Chiefs offense, especially when they were begging for playmakers in certain years, then, that's probably a sign. But it is Kyle Shanahan, so we'll see. I think they feel like they've gotten to the other side of this thing. You know, if you're coming into the season with healthy Christian McCaffrey, by all accounts, healthy Kittle, I think you believe the offense is going to be fine. The offense is going to be okay. You have one of the best offensive minds, and I know they've dealt with some injuries, but this is like where Kyle Shanahan really makes his money, right? And Purdy's been paid. Nobody is complaining except for Juwan Jennings, I guess. Well, like you don't have these massive contract things holding over your head. Like Trent Williams is not there, or Nick Bosa is not there, and you still have your core guys on defense. To me, people thought the sky was falling last year a bit in Buffalo because they got some of the older guys out, and it was like, oh man, they're really getting rid of some core guys, just like the 49ers are doing this year with Hufanga and others, Dre Greenlaw. But you know what? They were fine. And the 49ers are also going to be fine. Okay.
If you look at the 49ers depth chart right now, there is more red than any team in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. Let me read you. Brandon Ayuk out. Juwan Jennings, questionable. Nick Bosa, questionable. He's been missing practice with a minor injury. Mikael Williams, injured. Kevin Givens, injured. Everybody. Obviously, Dominic Pooney got hurt. That one is actually interesting. They say he should be the guard who is a breakout rookie, should be okay by week 1. That one scared me. I'm just a little scared, Maggie. And then I see Curtis Rourke, the third-string quarterback's out. I didn't even know Curtis Rourke was a Niner, let alone hurt.
Mac Jones sprained his knee. I thought
yeah,
you'd be
Mac
really
Jones is
upset
out
about
too.
that.
I just worry a little bit that it does seem like it's all or nothing with this Niners team. Either they go into the season and everybody gets hurt, or nobody gets hurt and they go to the NFC title game.
Yeah.
I think you're leading NFC title game, but I got to be honest, I still have some nerves that everybody's going to get hurt. Obviously healthy, they're awesome. There's no doubt about it. I just I don't know. I think your optimism is a little feels a little Augusty. Talk to me in November and let's look at that depth chart and see how much red is on it.
No, here's the thing about the 49ers. It's about optimism, yes, because this doesn't feel anything close to what was going on last offseason. But it's also, I think, a little Rams delusion. And I know that we have some diehard Rams fans in our audience, and I'm not trying to yuck your yums here. I just think that if it was another team, if you were talking about someone else's team and your 36-year-old quarterback already needed epidural, threw at practice, then couldn't practice for a week, now is back, everything's fine, you'd be like, you guys are drinking the Kool-Aid too much.
I've seen women.
That
Big
could be
Friendly.
true.
Maybe not just specific Big Friendly, but also, Georgia, we have a really big Rams contingent in our audience. And I love you guys, and I love that you're optimistic about your team, and you have a really good roster.
The other person you talked about, the ex-player's wife.
Yeah, it's just, it's an important position, everybody. It's quarterback, and you're still expecting a lot from Stafford, and this could be the end. And there was a reason why the Rams said, go out and test the market.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you look at that as a positive. Say, well, then they believe in the backups. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo's awesome until he, throws a ball over the middle to Devontae Adams and gets him decapitated.
Yeah. And then, again, little shout out for my Seattle and Arizona friends.
Yeah.
They're going to try and run right down the throat of all these teams. I mean, Mike McDonald trying to recreate the Ravens in Seattle hasn't quite done it yet, but man, what if he does? What if, Sam Darnold, you kind of dismissed him.
Yeah.
What if they're
Not
a
my favorite.
Ravens-like attack where their defense is awesome and they have an incredible run game? That's a formula for 9 or 10 wins. And we've seen Sam Darnold won 14 games last year.
Well, did Sam or did quarterback for the Vikings won 14 games?
But
that
that's what
could
I'm
have
saying.
been a lot of guys in there.
Is Seattle a similar situation where you can just plug and play, where you don't need who's a great Seattle? You don't need Jim Zorn back there.
Yeah, good pull.
Yeah. I was just trying to.
Is Justin Jefferson secretly on the Seahawks and I just don't know about it?
No,
That is
but
not the same receiver core.
Oh, definitely not. But they don't want to be a passing team. I think they want to be a run. They've been trying. Pete Carroll was trying to do that for a decade. I think Seattle's an interesting team, and I think Arizona's an interesting team. Not Super Bowl contender,
Yeah.
but there's a good chance those guys have winning records. So this is going to be a bit messy in San Francisco. Everyone looks at that easy schedule and says, "Oh, there's 10 wins just off the bat." But so is everyone else in this division. So I think it's going to be incredibly competitive. I think it's going to look a little bit like the NFC North last year, not quite as gaudy. And San Francisco, man, they better be careful. That training staff's got to step up their game, Maggie.
The training staff. Yeah, well, let's skewer those guys. No, I get it. I've been at games where the training staff has gotten booed along with the players. But,
I'm not blaming
that actually
them.
happened.
I mean, the 2020 when my buddy Nick Mullins was leading the charge after the Super Bowl year, that was a much bigger disaster than even last year.
I was going to say,
Everybody
leading the
was hurt.
charge. Didn't they win 4 games that year?
Yeah. No, they had 22 players basically hurt. For some reason, this team, I think once the things start going bad, they'll mail it in. You're right. It doesn't feel like Kyle Shanahan I don't think the seat is hot, but he's got some pressure to not have a bad season. I don't think he has to win the Super Bowl this year because the injuries and all the chaos, especially the wide receiver room. But they better be good. And I'm just worried. I'm worried about McCaffrey's age. I'm worried about Kittle's age. I'm worried about Bosa already with a minor injury. I'm worried about all these guys.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So are the Niners doomed for another snake-bitten season would be the first question. And secondly, is this NFC West this really deep murderer's row of a division? I don't see it that way. Perloff does. What about you? 888-710-4ISN. I know we're on in the Bay Area right now. I know we're on in Seattle right now. Obviously at LA. 888-710-4ISN. Are we on in Phoenix right now?
I was just in Phoenix. It's hot.
Yeah.
Anything to stay inside and listen to some sports talk radio.
It's hot now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning there. It doesn't even break at night.
I know you blame me of trying to small talk and bring up the weather, but you can't miss it in Phoenix. I'm like, does that car temperature say 114 degrees out? That's a thing, Maggie. Did you know about that?
I knew it was hot.
114.
I didn't realize it was that.
It is the scariest place in America. I'm talking about the Grand Canyon there. Yeah, I don't know why this is a national marvel. It's terrifying.
Perloff's like, forget the mean streets of Chicago, New York City.
It's like,
the Grand Canyon.
Let's have my 6-year-old go out on this little cliff with no guardrail and the 40-mile-an-hour wind and take it just for a good photo. Terrifying.
Got to do it for the gram. 888-710-4ISN. 888-710-4476. All right, other Niners doomed for another snake-bitten season. Coming up, we have Arch Manning quotes for you. The quarterback has spoken about his future and what his grandfather had to say about his future as well. All that's coming your way next. Maggie Perloff.
Arch Manning.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This ain't Texas. Ain't no hold'em.
Welcome back. Maggie and Perloff show. By the way, I'm deep into the Jerry Jones documentary on Netflix. I feel like my brain is being taken over by Jerry. I'm almost thinking I'm thinking in an Arkansas accent these days.
Yeah, you haven't. You came in today and you're like, "Have you seen the price of oil?" And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
You don't usually start the day like that.
Can I go back to one point about the NFC West? Maggie, I think I'm onto something. I'm looking at the win totals. They are huge for this division. 8.5 for Arizona and Seattle, 9.5 for the Rams, and 10.5 for the Niners. Like I said, everyone thinks they're going to whoop up on the AFC South and NFC South. I'm starting to think that this is the premier division in football right now. It's sneaky. Everyone goes to the AFC North and the NFC North.
Yeah.
These West teams, they have
AFC West, yeah.
Yeah. AFC West, right. Yeah, though probably the AFC West is the best, but man, there's a chance that all four teams are actually good.
Okay, but we were asking today, are the 49ers doomed for another snake-bitten season? But you just said they're the win totals, right? And still San Francisco is 10.5.
10.5, yeah. And
More than the Rams, right.
Rams are 9.5.
So all this, this is where I don't see this doom and gloom going on for San Francisco like last year, because if all of these things were adding up to chaos and storm clouds for the 49ers, wouldn't that have moved even a half a game?
No, because with the 49ers, you never see it coming. Last year's win total was even higher. They were the favorite in the NFC last year. It's hard to predict turned ankles and sprained ACLs and I don't know. I just think they have more red on their depth chart, red signifying injury, than any team in the NFL by far already. It just feels like you said things aren't going bad. How are things not going bad? DeMarcus Robinson just got suspended yesterday. Ayuk's not coming back forever. Basically, the Fresh Prince meme where the Fresh Prince is standing there and everyone's gone?
Yeah.
That's the wide receiver room with Ricky. And even Ricky Pearsall seems injury prone. I just think it's not going as great as you portrayed earlier in the show, Maggie.
Injury prone? The guy got shot. I mean, that's just the worst luck ever. And thank God he's okay.
Well, yeah.
You can't say that's injury prone. Let's go to the phones, 888-710-4ISN. Josh in Erie, Pennsylvania. Josh, what's good this morning, sir?
Oh, everything's good my way. For the Rams fans out here, as I am, this season going into it is a win-win-win season. Stafford stays healthy and we get into the playoffs, that's when he falls down, gets hurt, as old man Stafford would, and the bottom falls out. We get a high draft pick, and McVay gets his quarterback of the future. We're kind of mediocre, and we package Atlanta's first-round pick with ours, and we move up and get with the Giants or Titans and get their first-round pick, and we get a quarterback as well. So the Rams have a win-win-win situation going on into the season.
Josh, I'm all for a let's pencil in Arch Manning to Sean McVay if that's where you're going. I don't know if Arch is going to be coming out after this year or is going to wait, but we'll get to that sound in a moment. But I don't think you're going to be bad enough to be really high pick, but Josh maybe has the right attitude here. You got that extra first rounder from the Falcons, kind of fleeced the Falcons.
Oh man, that was a terrible trade by Atlanta.
Oh, I know. And this is a creative team. So maybe this is not all, pressure of the world on the Rams this year, and all these outcomes really could be good.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, the Rams, again, I really like this young defense. It's not just about McVay and Stafford, I think it's one of those situations where a great offensive coach has tripped into a good defense, like Brian Billick with the Ravens. These guys, I love the Braden Fisk, Jared Verse, Florida State combo, and then Kobe Turner and Byron Young. They have a lot of really good young defenders. So I think their defense can be elite. And as Eagles fan, I say that. Like, they scared the heck out of us in the playoffs last year. They easily could have won that divisional round playoff game. It was just a play or two. I don't think anyone was close to the Eagles last year except the Rams.
Go Birds! Dan's in Northern California. Dan, what do you think about the Niners?
Yeah. How are you guys doing this morning?
Best shape of our lives, Dan. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I think about the Niners. Man, you're saying that the Rams might get Arch Manning? That'd be pretty cool. I'm all for strengthening the division. Make it tough, make it competitive. You can see the divisions like the NFC East back in the day, the ones that have really good competition. Usually a team coming out of there wins the Super Bowl. But I'm not saying the Niners would win the Super Bowl. I don't think they'll get past maybe the second round of the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Wait, Dan, I got to put you on hold for a second. I've never actually heard that take before, that opinion from someone who's talking about pro football. He basically was just doing like the SEC chant, like it's good if just the whole division is good. Whoever wants that in professional football? You want the rest of your division to be stumbling, bumbling losers. That's the best possible thing you could even hope for in a division. Not, hey, we're all good, so our strength of schedule looks nice when the committee meets.
Well, I mean, there is the argument, say, this gets back to a bigger sports truth. Do you want the team that beat you in the playoffs to actually go on to win the Super Bowl, therefore proving that you were the second best team? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's way deeper down the road of rationalizations here. You don't want to be in one of those murderers row divisions. That's when it happens when like you win 10 games and miss the playoffs or something like that, which is just like it's brutal.
So if you're a Giants fan, you don't take any pride in the Philadelphia Eagles winning last year?
Hell no.
Hell no. What?
This is what I'm saying.
I don't understand that.
Dan's basically saying, this is great when everyone eats. Like, what? I don't want that at all.
Well, I do think there's an idea of iron sharpens iron. Oh, I can't even say that right. Iron sharpens iron. There you go.
Okay. But let me ask you, Maggie, you said college is different. I don't. It can't be, though. If you're an Alabama fan, you're not happy that Georgia won it all, are you?
No, it's
but
not
it does prove that there's an eliteness about the SEC.
No, but I know. And when you're going to the committee and you're talking about strength of schedule, that's all well and good. But that's not how the pros work.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic because you're right. If Georgia wins a title one year, then Alabama can say to the committee next year, look, we beat Georgia and they're the champions. So there is actually a logistical reason to root for your conference.
Exactly. Like, look what they're going to do with the college football playoff this year. The one big change they're making beyond the seeding, which is huge. You don't have to, it's not the top four highest ranked conference champions getting the top four seeds. They get in, but they don't necessarily get the top four seeds.
But still, you would never have an Ohio State fan celebrating that Michigan title and vice versa.
Exactly, because it raises all tides of the Big Ten.
Yeah,
and nobody cares about that.
You can at least make that argument. You could make that argument for anything except those two teams, I think.
No, but like strength of schedule is actually going to matter more for the committee. They listen to you. You complained about this all last season.
Right.
You hated the fact that strength of schedule is not weighted more. And they've heard you, Pearl.
Yeah.
And they say they're going to make an adjustment.
They won't. They at the end of the day they're going to look at records because they're not smart. But that's besides the point. I think Michigan, Ohio State might be the one exception. Like generally, you might root for your conference for that very reason. They hate each other so much that there's no way they'd rather not go to the playoffs and see the other team win.
We will get to Arch Manning in just a moment, but Chris LoPresti is here with us this morning. What's up, CeeLo?
Good morning. Sponsored by Progressive. Progressive Commercial Insurance protects small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Excuse my voice. It's got a little summer cold going on here. I don't know. Just one of those things that pops up. Lack of sleep hits you every now and then.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we've been there.
I feel
Are you
better
not going
than
to infect
I sound.
I was going to say, you're not going to infect the show, are
No,
you?
nothing like that.
I didn't think so. You're a responsible person. I thought maybe you've been screaming at Little League games or something like that.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
I mean, I am on the football coaching staff for my son, but no, I'm not a big screamer. So we got other coaches that can handle that.
That's I think it's a good quality. That would go against type for you.
What's your position, Coach?
My position? You
Yeah.
mean, what am I coaching?
Yeah.
I'm coaching special teams, actually. And I
Oh,
work a
okay.
little bit with the
Joe
offense
All
as
right.
well. So.
Petty. You're the brains of the operation.
yeah.
You're the Joe
sure.
Judge of the operation.
Yeah, right.
I see a little young John Harbaugh.
Basically, they said, hey, this is the first year we actually have to do special teams, so you want to go ahead and handle that for us. So
How
that's
old
where
are
we're
these
at.
kids?
9. They're 9.
CeeLo, please do me a favor. Every punt inside the 5, send it my way. I love a punt inside the 5.
Okay. I will send that your
No,
way.
do like that. Do what
It's a
was
dynamic kickoff. Like,
was it Mike Westhoff or one of the Jets guys who had formed a wall on the sideline to interfere with the return?
CeeLo all of a
We'll try
sudden
to bend
banned
the
from
rules.
Pop Warner.
Yep, yep. But it's been fun, So far, so good.
You have kids, guys kicking field goals? I know nothing about it.
No, not really. It's more so just kick off, kick return, punt, and punt return.
Yes,
so
punt.
you're allowed to kick field goals or an extra point. In fact, at that level, if you kick an extra point, it's worth 2. And if you run a traditional 2-point conversion and score, it's worth 1 because it's harder to kick for the young kids.
Is
But
your-
no, we're not done field goal kicking yet.
Is your kicking form better than Schwartz's?
I haven't seen Schwartz's.
Oh, you
kicking
didn't see
form.
Peter's low
no.
light?
No, I did not.
Peter was in with us yesterday, and he attempted to kick a field goal at like a fan fest.
Okay.
And somehow it's worse than what you're thinking.
It's hard to imagine it being worse than what I'm thinking.
It is. It is.
How did that video even come about yesterday?
He posted it.
He posted it.
Oh, okay. So this was a recent thing.
All clicks
Not
are
just-
good
Oh
clicks.
no,
All right.
they're showing it on the stream. It's bad.
It's just
For some reason, he doesn't run up and kick the ball. He kind of slowly walks up and kicks it, and it almost hits a guy who's standing 3 feet to his left.
Now, special teams is a thing in that family, but
Yeah, this
long
kid's a long
snapping.
snapper.
Yeah. So maybe he should stick to that instead of the field goal kicking. I don't know. We'll see. All right, NFL preseason is winding down. That means roster cuts are coming, and that sometimes leads to a mini trade season, which is what we got Wednesday with a bunch of bodies moving around. The Saints, who haven't even picked a starting quarterback yet, add receiver Devon Vele in a trade with the Broncos, who get back a 4th-round pick plus a 7th-rounder for 2027. That's a nice little return for Denver on a player who was a 7th-round pick himself just last year, though he is 27. He's one of those older rookies last year, and he's now moving on to New Orleans. You guys talked about the Niners. Demarcus Robinson's got this expected 3-game suspension as part of a fallout from misdemeanor DUI charge. So San Francisco bolsters their wideout core, reportedly set to acquire Sky Moore from the Chiefs, with the two teams swapping late-round picks in the 2027 draft. The Jets needed some help at defensive tackle, so they acquired 2 of them, Harrison Phillips from the Vikings and Jawan Briggs from the Browns. So New York, a bunch of late-round picks in those deals.
Let's go!
Yeah, Phillips, a starter for most of his career, was due $7.5 million for this season. Minnesota agreed to pay half of that to complete the deal. Now, trades aside, the latest on Micah Parsons, that he and the Cowboys do not appear any closer to a contract extension, but first-year head coach Brian Schottenheimer, perhaps in a bit of blind faith, says,
we feel like Mike is going to be out there when we can line up against Philadelphia here in 15 days or whatever it is. And, so no, the answer is, yeah, I feel good about that, yeah.
Without a contract extension?
I feel good that Mike is going to be out there against the Philadelphia Eagles.
So playing that part close to the vest. But same story for Parsons, walkthroughs and team meetings, no practice yet throughout the course of training camp. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about this. I think Brian Schottenheimer should not be talking this confidently. Just this guy has been in the league for 30 years. You can sidestep questions way more challenging than this one.
Why?
You gotta just duck out of the way for this.
I don't
Get out
know.
of here, Brian. This is not your fight.
It's the Cowboys, though. It's like, I don't know if there's any ducky. It almost matters. It doesn't matter what Brian Schottenheimer does. Like, can you, it's like trying to contain chaos or like contain a tiger. Like, this thing is going to, like, does it matter what Brian Schottenheimer says? It just feels chaotic.
Just get out of the way, coach. Out of the way. This is a Jerry Micah Parsons vehicle.
Yeah.
You are way down on the playlist, the playbill.
Yeah, I don't think
Michael Parsons.
It's so funny. Like, I'm sorry, I'm one of those guys. I don't think Brian Schottenheimer has a role here. I think he is the coach, and he's the coach, but he does not feel super impactful to me. It feels like we're in the middle of chapter 8 of the Netflix documentary on the Cowboys.
I know.
Brian Schottenheimer's a footnote.
Perloff is so ankle. You're waist deep, neck deep into the Jerry Jones
I'm watching
documentary?
Barry Switzer right now. Brian Schottenheimer will not make the next documentary. I really think he will not. Like, I can't.
Another one?
Yeah. Can we,
8 more episodes?
This one's so good. Are you kidding me? I'll be the audience for the next one. But
That's sad.
Okay, so I watched the first episode only. We brought you our top 5 moments from it yesterday. But Why does Barry Switzer flip off the camera in that one small cameo he makes? Is he like angry? Is he funny? What's his deal?
He got to Dallas and he's trying to match Jimmy Johnson's energy, even though he's been retired for 5 years. And it's one of those ones where he's just trying to be this ball of energy and he's putting in a lot of effort to sort of get everyone fired up. But then he does an interview right before the first game. He's like, I've never been more tired in my life. I need a nap. I don't. He was sort of overcompensating.
I mean, they won the Super Bowl, so.
It took him 2 years, though. Yeah, I mean, they should have won.
Yeah, right. It's
No, I
time
mean-
for that right
No,
about
I get
now.
it.
Listen,
There was Dynasty.
But I got to tell you, Barry Switzer has so much more like energy and history. Brian Schottenheimer just feels like Jerry got in somebody who would not take any of the shine. So even him saying this thing about Micah Parsons kind of feels like he's irrelevant to the Cowboys story to me. You know, like I'm not sure. Maybe he trips into being a good coach, but it doesn't feel like Brian Schottenheimer is set up for success here. It's just a fall guy for Jerry. That's how I see Brian Schottenheimer.
All right, so you want him to sidestep the questions a little better. Perhaps he can go to school on Myles Garrett, who met the media for the first time yesterday since his latest extreme speeding ticket earlier this month, which was 160. That was his 8th citation for speeding since arriving in Cleveland in 2017.
What is it like to be in that car and seeing that speedometer creep up toward 100, like 1 mile per hour?
I'd honestly rather talk about football on this team than anything I'm doing off field, other than the back to school, event that I did the other day.
But still, I mean, people want to know about that.
People want to know a lot of things, but I try to keep my personal life personal. I'd rather focus on this team when I can.
All right, so he makes it pretty clear there. He's not interested in discussing any of that, but that particular reporter did not take no for an answer.
I'm sorry, but this is important. So you talk about being a leader. So what kind of a leadership does that show when you get pulled over by the cops?
Again, you're asking the same question, and I've answered it 2 different times. So I'm gonna need you to ask a different question so I can focus on this team and not this headline you're trying to get out of this question you're asking.
So he wasn't having any of that, understandably.
Yeah, I 2 things here. One, I mean, Myles Garrett, like, you can't be too surprised if you're going to be asked questions like this. I didn't even know it was 8 citations
since he came.
I know he got in that bad car accident a couple years ago.
8 years.
I mean,
1 per year he's averaging, I guess.
Should he have a license? I mean, how many citations do you have to get before they take you off the road? That's
know.
scary for the rest of everyone in Cleveland. But secondly, I think with the reporter in hindsight, just ask the questions about leadership and stuff like that and getting pulled over. You don't have to do the what's it like when
the speedometer,
the speedometer hits 100. That's a little, I don't know. You can ask the direct questions about driving recklessly.
And I believe, CeeLo, that was the first question of the press conference.
It very well may have been.
Yeah,
I did not see the full.
No, I was actually curious, Maggie, because you've been in that position a lot. Like the reporter really went for it. And you're right, it feels wrong, but somebody's got to hold Myles Garrett accountable. So I can't kill the reporter. That's what we want to know. And it's not just Myles Garrett. It's a lot of NFL guys and a lot of college guys. Why are you doing this? And I got to be honest, I live in a neighborhood where I see some of this drag racing, and it's terrifying. They could easily kill a kid who's in another car. So, yes, hold them accountable.
Absolutely. It's just the question of what's it like when the speedometer hits 100 kind of feels like something for the memoir as opposed to the press conference.
He even said, what's it like when it's creeping towards 100? He was really trying to make it a little dramatic.
It's a question that someone would ask Jimmy Johnson.
Did he expect, it's thrilling. I love going 110 miles an hour.
Right.
When it starts creeping up to 120, though, that's when I start to lay off.
Well, this is why we were critical of Deion Dawkins after the first episode of Hard Knocks when he's drift racing. With the kid in the front seat, and everyone's like, "Oh, Deion."
That was tight.
We weren't critical enough.
What?
That was the most insane thing I've ever seen on a television screen in my entire life. He is in a race car with a 4-year-old who's not even really that protected. It was out of control.
By the way, you're supposed to have kids in the back seat of a car with a car seat.
In a car seat.
Sit in the front when they're that little. Anyway.
But I don't like this drag racing stuff at all. Yeah, Myles Garrett, and also he had trying to bring it back to the back to school initiative.
Yeah, that was whack.
Yeah, it's no, I just want to talk about my charity. It's all right, well, don't drive your car through the front lawn.
It's a 20 zone, by the way, Miles. It's a 20 zone.
What'd you do in a school zone? I'm sure if out of the 8 citations is one in a school zone.
A very modest 75 in a 25.
I'm not answering any questions unless it's good press for me.
Right. That was the pivot. He was prepared. He knew they were going to ask about the speeding. Oh, let's talk about the back-to-school event that I did instead.
Can I ask a car question for everyone here? I was recently in a rental car, a Nissan Altima. It was very nice.
Tires were about to pop.
Yeah, it had like 200 on the speedometer. I'm like, would anyone bring this puppy up to 200?
I think the car might disintegrate if you tried to do that.
Why do they do that? Is that for NFL players? Like just in case? Just in case defensive end is renting a Nissan Altima?
For the zombie apocalypse, you got to get away.
No, Perloff has always said for the zombie apocalypse, you have to have a motorcycle. Everyone knows that.
Well, I read this story that the tech billionaires all learned how to drive motorcycles so you could weave through traffic. And they all got LASIK because they knew they couldn't get updates on their glasses subscription. So those are the 2 things you do when the apocalypse is coming. You learn how to ride a moped and you get eye surgery.
You hear that, CeeLo?
You want to be on the Mark Zuckerberg apocalypse flight.
CeeLo,
I'll get right on those two things.
You and me are going down fast because we're wearing glasses right now.
Yes.
EJ, you're out.
Glasses and no motorcycle. I'm cooked. Finished. The zombies are coming for me first. No doubt about it.
Manny and I will be okay. 2020, baby.
Oh, you're driving a motorcycle, Meg?
Nope.
I'm actually on a 10 speed.
I'm actually very fast.
Yeah.
On the next episode of Hard Knocks, Deion Dawkins with his 7-year-old in the backseat of a motorcycle.
I just had this image.
Riding on his back.
I just had this image of the apocalypse coming and me driving my 10 speed, my Schwinn with broken glasses and Maggie flying by me.
With my upright running style.
Yeah. Oh, we're in trouble.
Shaking with every step.
Yeah, I know. All my feet are huge.
I love EJ says the Nissan Altima is going to get me away from the zombie apocalypse. How fast are these zombies? I have to go 200 miles an hour?
Listen, you see them in I Am Legend? Those guys can fly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I think we have to come
too.
to a consensus on what the zombies are like. Are they, it's a Night of the Living Dead, where they're very slow and plotting, but you can't kill them. Obviously, they're already dead, so they're going to come for you eventually. Or are they all athletic now?
I Am Legend zombies were very athletic.
I think
they all run
combine.
They all run 4.2s.
I mean,
you know what Perloff would say, the guns juiced.
We got to give ourselves a chance. If they're unkillable, they got to at least be slow and plotting, or we got no chance.
You set them on fire, don't
Well, we got Nissan Altimas to get away.
Run 'em
The
over.
Japanese were really thinking about the apocalypse. I've always said that.
Yeah, I hope it's Last of Us style slow zombies. I think about the movie I Am Legend probably more than anything. But I should be preparing for the show. I'm thinking about how would I react if there were fast zombies. With the Will Smith movie. From what year was that? Like 2003 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it that old now?
Maybe that's a little old. Maybe like 06, maybe. I feel like I was in high school.
Do you guys? I've only seen a couple seasons of Walking Dead. I love it. It's great, but that speed I can handle. I think I can get it. And I'm not very fast. I'm not very sprite of foot like Maggie with her upright 40 style.
With my Forrest Gump running style.
Yeah.
2007 was I Am Legend.
Yeah. I mean, is that a poll question? Do you think the zombies are going to be slow or fast?
It's a poll question now.
Again, they better be slow. We're finished.
For a second, you were going to say another word that starts with F.
Also,
888-710-4ISN.
With my glasses prescription going out, like they better not. They have to be slow because I'm not going to see them coming if they're fast.
CeeLo, thank you. Only answering the most important questions here on the show. We will
Would a
get
Nissan Altima help us in the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, can you get a Nissan Altima up to 200 miles per hour to get away from a zombie? It's a relevant question. Arch Manning, in front of the microphones, what do you have to say about his future? We'll tell you next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff Show. Okay. We talk about him a lot, but he doesn't talk to us very much, and that's Arch Manning, and I understand why. Young kid, still in college, but he was at the podium 2 days ago, Pearl, and here is Arch talking about his future, and then his grandfather, Archie, kind of flying in from left field to talk to Texas Monthly to say that Arch was definitely staying at Texas for 2 years. Here's Arch Manning.
I think I just need to be smart. Obviously, those hits add up. My grandfather, he can, he's hobbling around these days, and he ends every call with "get down" or "get out of bounds." So I'm definitely hearing it a lot.
Okay, so that's Arch Manning, Archie with some, logistical advice, if you will, some X's and O's. Here's about Arch's future.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that from. He texted me and apologized about that, but I'm really just taking it day by day right now.
Okay, so this is kind of the big thing, right? This forecasting of what Arch Manning's college career is going to bring, Pearl, whether it's he's going to leave after one season or he's going to definitely stay for two to be a starter. I don't know. know how anyone can say definitively that they think they know. Just because Peyton and Eli did something, Arch has already shown that he's kind of carving his own path. Because if he was just doing exactly what his family did, wouldn't he have gone to Ole Miss? Wouldn't he have gone to Tennessee?
He can't go to both.
He can now.
Well, it's funny because Peyton didn't go to Ole Miss. Yeah. So, I mean, I think I was early on this that Arch is going to do 2 years. And there are a lot of reasons to believe. First of all, he's getting paid a ton of money to be in college. Sure. So it's always a different calculus. He doesn't need the NFL money. He grew, his dad's been killing it in the business game. He's a Manning. So money is not necessarily the same incentive to rush to the NFL. That's a big part of it. I thought the same thing was true with Cooper Flagg. I was wrong about that. But generally, why does he need to rush to a bad team?
Well, because two things. One, you can afford to be strategic, but he can be strategic no matter what. He can be strategic whether, this year might actually be the better situation. It's possible that if he does want to go to New Orleans, or if there is a team picking near the top 5 that he wants to go to, it's possible that the good situation presents itself now. And so to go back to school, 100%, to me, I don't think, you can't say definitively, he needs to get 22 starts or 25 starts under his belt, so he's definitely going back to college. It's just that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been arguing you a lot on this, and I'm starting to think you might be right. I'll be honest, that is way more TBD. But I'll tell you one thing. If they come close to winning a title, the Texas Longhorns, and they don't win, I think the pull to try and do it again is going to be huge. If they win the title, he's probably more likely to be gone. But if they get to the Final Four and lose again, I think being in college means a ton to him. And the fact that he can afford it, I think coming back for one more year would be a big pull. To try and win the deal, kind of like Peyton.
Yeah, and I know this has worked. Guys came back to Ohio State last year. They won. The year before, guys came back to Michigan and they won, and this sort of being on a mission. But to me, is that Arch might feel like it's his fight to fight, but it's so much bigger than him. If they get close again and don't win, is that really going to be that should be on Arch Manning to get Steve Sarkisian over the hump? To finally get Texas back?
Oh, I disagree with that. This could be, of course. I mean, the casual fans all care about Arch more than, and nobody cares about Steve Sarkisian. It's all about Arch.
Well, the other part of that is, to me, and this is, I think, where you and I will still disagree about this, whatever Arch does in college, to me, is not the story. That's not going to be what his career is ultimately defined by. His career is going to be defined by what he does in the pros. It's not Matt Leinart we're talking about here, someone like that. This is Arch Manning, whose uncles have 4 Super Bowl wins between them, and it's going to be about what he does in the pros. It's if he is just a good college quarterback and does nothing in the pros, no one's going to say wow, what a gigantic disappointment. But, it's not going to be smooth sailing for him while he's in the pros. So to me, what's the best situation in the NFL, and how does he get himself there, whether it's after this year or after the second year? But I think it's going to be after this year.
Yeah, I think that's a very NFL-centric viewpoint. I think especially in parts of the country we're talking about, I'm not sure it goes down exactly like that. Because people talk about Peyton in Tennessee all the time still. Everyone, I'm not sure it's as simple as, Eli did nothing at Ole Miss and then redefined himself in the pros. But I think it's important, especially in the SEC, especially in New Orleans and Texas and the places, and he might go to the Saints. I think they're going to remember his college career for a long time.
Okay, you can weigh in 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Arch Manning got the big Texas-Ohio State showdown. It's almost here. Big Friendly's in California. Not pleased with me this morning. What's up, Friendly? I don't like you and I battling like this, Friendly. You and I got to be same team.
Maggie. Good morning, Maggie Malone, EJ the EP, Daddy Cool, Big Hat Low, Manny Wapo. Good morning. Maggie, I'm not. See, once again, you guys got Big Friendly all wrong. Big Friendly is a defense attorney for the Rams. I'm not here to battle.
Yeah.
But real quick, Maggie, you still owe me, Maggie. And I've been very, very patient. And now the next season's about to start.
Oh.
So I would like to offer,
okay,
if you guys can find a makeup artist close to you, forward the information to me. I will pay that person to come to your office to paint your face for the second Monday of the NFL season. I've been patient, Maggie.
You have.
I've been patient.
So, Friendly, we do have a makeup artist here. Allie can help us out with this. No need to pay.
Oh,
that one's on
perfect.
me.
Oh.
But, I actually
Okay.
do owe you a bit of an apology. Yesterday, we botched in a big way. You were trying to say that Perloff and Gordon Damer, who was doing updates for us, could be separated at birth. And I think Gordon accidentally caught a stray that we thought Gordon could be Perloff's dad. That is not
I
what
was
you were
saying that they could be brothers.
Brothers, yes.
They could be brothers. And real quick, we're drinking the Kool-Aid because the last 2 years, we've seen Sean McVay get us to the playoffs. We've been injury-ridden.
What did Maggie lose his bet on? I got to get back to that in the next hour. You have to paint your face?
It's a long story. Get back to that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Okay, so Lamar Jackson avoided a little bit of a scare yesterday. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Reports are Pearl got stepped on in practice, tried to give it a go after that, ended up walking off the field with the training staff and with some coaches and never made it back out to the practice field. So that's not great, but it looks like everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. No, yeah, they avoided a worst-case scenario.
Totally. But, it got us thinking a little bit about Lamar Jackson and the fact that even though my guy Josh Allen won the MVP last year, you really could have made the case that Lamar should have won his third. And
Yes.
he was like the All-Pro. It was weird because Lamar got voted first-team All-Pro, so everyone thought, he'd be MVP, but then Josh Allen won the MVP. So they kind of split votes.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson statistically had his best season ever, by far.
And they vote on this before the playoffs. So.
Yeah, and Josh Allen, ironically, had was down statistically because they decided to hand the ball off more. But it was more of a narrative thing.
It was more Josh having to do a little more with less.
But he did less with less. Anyway,
he's asked to shoulder a lot of the load. Not that Lamar Jackson is not, but I think they looked at the weapons around. Well, whatever. That's
no, they did it because Lamar already had two, and he hadn't won a Super Bowl, and Josh hadn't won one yet. So that's the sole reason. There's no other reasons.
Okay, well, that's fine. But this is the real question about Lamar. Josh has his one now. Maybe he'll win more, maybe he won't. But Lamar continues to really redefine how the quarterback position can be played. Josh plays it in like a linebacker a little bit who's got a great arm. Lamar runs in a way that is like surpassed Michael Vick and like even some of the greatest running quarterbacks of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Can Lamar Jackson catch Peyton Manning or surpass Peyton Manning's 5 MVPs?
Absolutely not. No way. First of all, they're already tired of giving it to him. You think that how can he keep upping his game? Now they're going to judge him against himself. So it's going to be even harder. There's no chance he gets to 5.
Okay, I think he will, and I think he will surpass Peyton Manning. But there's one obviously huge caveat that needs to happen. You just brought it up. If Lamar can actually win a Super Bowl, which I don't think any of us are discounting. They barely lost that Bills game. Mark Andrews catches that ball. It's we're back in. They lost that game by 2 points.
I'm picking them this year. I'll tell you right now.
That's fine. Right. Yeah. So I think that we believe that there's an inevitability. Maybe that's wrong, but an inevitability that Lamar will get over the top and that he will win a Super Bowl. Once that happens, then the floodgates are open. The voters will give him as many MVPs as they feel he deserves because the same thing happened with Peyton Manning. Going back to look at Peyton Manning's career, he won the 2 MVPs, but was not good in the playoffs. Threw 4 picks against Bill Belichick's defense, against New England, and they kind of stopped giving them to him. Then what happens? He finally gets his Super Bowl, and after that, they'll rattle off MVPs for you no matter what. So, to me, if Lamar does win this year, the voters will no longer have like this thing in their conscience, like in the back of their mind, we can't give him anymore because he didn't win a Super Bowl. That's going to be gone. And I think there's even some voter fatigue potentially with Patrick Mahomes. I think Lamar has got a runway here. But again, he's got to win the Super Bowl first, and then the voters will vote for him over and over and over again.
You know, it's funny, too. This MVP list, you look, Peyton has the most with 5, and Rodgers is second with 4. Nobody cares on the all-time list. It's not even brought up as a topic. I think everyone agrees it's Montana, Brady, 1, 2. It's a position that is judged much more by championship rings than MVPs. In fact, there's something also almost a little negative about the MVP award. Like Rodgers won 2 and was such a disaster in those two playoffs. Well, in one of those playoffs, remember that icy cold game? The last 2 for Rodgers, like it's almost like there's almost a negative perception. You win the MVP, but you come up short in the postseason. What does that say about your football character? Peyton had it for a long time. I think that 5 MVPs. Nobody's putting Peyton Manning above Tom Brady on the list, even though he's got 2 more MVPs. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
And Lamar is a little bit like that because he puts up huge numbers, but then comes up short in the playoffs. I just think voters are more savvy now. I agree with that. Once he wins a Super Bowl, it might bring it easier to vote for him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's 27 right now. How long is he going to be able to be super, super elite with other guys coming up, too, who are going to be just as good? Joe Burrow. I think that last year's rookie class, some of those, Jaden Daniels could be really good. There's going to be a lot of guys on his tail who have these high-powered passing offenses. So, yeah, I think going from 2 to 5 seems like too much.
Okay, so we're asking whether Lamar Jackson could surpass Peyton Manning's 5 MVPs. Obviously, 5's the most. I think his age works for him. Like, you say he's 27, right? He's only 27.
Yeah.
Lamar is not old, and he's still in his prime, and quarterback primes are much longer these days, even though he did deal with injuries earlier in his career. Knock on wood for him, he's been healthy. And I think that, what Joe Burrow is going to run into is you got to win a ton of games to even be in the conversation. Are the Bengals going to be getting into the playoffs with like 10 wins or 9 wins because their defense is so awful? Or are they going to have a season like you need to put up like 12, 13 wins to even be in the convo? So I think that Lamar is helped by that because his Ravens teams are always vying for that number 1 seed.
I just think let's put ourselves in the shoes of the voters.
Okay.
Say that Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson have great statistical seasons next year. Who are you voting for? You don't even need to know who's better. I think they're going to vote for. It's Mahomes' turn. Like last year was Josh Allen's turn. They're not even going to look at the numbers. They're going to be like, let's spread this thing out. I think that's how they vote. I'm being dead serious because there's no way statistically Josh Allen was better than Lamar Jackson last year. Lamar Jackson clearly had the better season, but these are human voters. It's a narrative award, and I think they're waiting to give it back to Mahomes as well. And if Burrow makes the playoffs, I think they would love to give one to Burrow. Burrow is the new Josh Allen. Like he's an MVP level quarterback, and they think like that.
Sorry, Lamar Jackson's 28. Apologies.
Sorry, I was looking at his Pro Football Reference that it was 27. By the way, the other two guys, Mahomes and Allen, are 29. Does the age work for them?
Yeah, I think they still have lots of years to go.
So they're going to be competing with Lamar for those spots.
They are, but the way that Lamar, I think, what he does that's so impressive. Now, if you think it's just a narrative award, then like there's nothing I can really say back to you. But the way that he keeps redefining things, Josh Allen can also run, but it's not in the same way as Lamar does.
Well,
I
think
it's really not.
Lamar now, I mean, I don't even think the next phase of his career we're going to remark on his running. His passing numbers are getting insanely good.
Yeah.
So he might be able to outpass all those guys as well, especially because if he still has a run threat, then it's harder to play pass defense against him because you can't turn your back on him, which screws up the pass defense. Yeah, no, he's going to have an outstanding career. I'm totally agreeing. I just think 5 in this day and age is not going to happen. One other thing, too, let's talk about this issue. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, pocket quarterbacks, you could play for 16 years.
Yep.
Will Lamar's dual threatness go down in his 30s?
Like Cam Newton, you're saying? I mean...
Yeah,
the high is high, but it's not as long as a peak as everyone else.
Lamar's elite speed will come down a little bit. It has to.
Yeah, I always like to believe, now this didn't really happen with Cam Newton, but I always like to believe that the guys who are that good, right, like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, that they can play another way. Like there's going to have to be, if they do want to play for 15, 16 years, there's going to have to be like a 2.0 era, right? It's going to have to look a little bit different. But there's a human nature aspect to it that you're going to have to get over. But I like to believe that the guys who are that elite can find a different way if they still want to continue to play at a high level.
Yeah, good point.
Tom Brady did change a little bit, from way early on when he was young, and It
got better.
It got so much better. Right.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball out, and it felt like a nanosecond by the time he was in his mid-30s.
Arms improve like crazy in the NFL. Everybody says. It's interesting, too. Are we talking about any young guys that are going to be coming up and getting – I think the NFL could use something like that. We're so excited about Jaden Daniels, maybe Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson take off. Maybe Trevor Lawrence figures it out. It'd be nice if we had someone other than those four names to compete. Maybe my guy Jalen Hurts finally gets to throw the ball. I do think.
Yeah, Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud. There should be more guys out there.
I'm not arguing with you about Lamar's success. I just think 5 MVPs, the fact that Peyton Manning did that, I think it's kind of like a one-off. It's almost a miracle that he was on top of his game for that long.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. It's funny because the person who you would think would be in line to break Peyton Manning's record would be Mahomes. But the Chiefs have shown you that they can win in so many different ways.
But then again, this offseason, they kept saying, we are going to bring back the vertical attack. I'm with you. I'm a little dubious. I feel like Andy Reid doesn't think that he has the team because his O-line has to protect for a long time for Patrick Mahomes to drop back and throw deep, and he doesn't trust him enough. So you're right. Like Mahomes, it doesn't even matter. But ultimately, you do agree that quarterbacks are judged by Super Bowls.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sorry, Josh Allen, that MVP was nice last year. I don't see that satisfying you at all as a Bills fan.
No, I just hope that the rest of the team is not satisfied, like this sort of mission accomplished feeling when they haven't even gotten to the Super Bowl.
By the way, I'm wearing a Sixers sweatshirt today. I'm a Sixers fan. Like Joel Embiid's MVP, I'm almost embarrassed by it.
Well, that's you. He's not.
Well, no, but I think Sixers, like an MVP without the success in the playoffs is almost like a bad thing. I'm being serious. Like, if you have the MVP and he goes out in the first round, like, remember early Dirk won the MVP and they went out in the first round? I'm like, oh, that's kind of lame. Like, you got to match your MVP with playoff success. It's a really important thing, especially a quarterback.
But you're literally wearing an Iverson sweatshirt. Do you think that Iverson is embarrassing? Because they got what? Because he got to the finals? He didn't win, though.
Yeah, no, but at least he got to the finals. Joel Embiid hasn't even gotten to the conference finals.
Practice.
So it's a big deal. And Allen Iverson, obviously, so cool. Like, what's wrong with AI?
We're talking about practice.
One of those guys who's an MVP who never won anything.
We're talking about practice.
Yeah, no, but at least he got to the finals. I mean, Lamar and Josh Allen haven't even gotten to the Super Bowl, Maggie. Get them to the Super Bowl.
I mean, tell Sean McDermott to light a fire under all their butts.
EJ, I got her started.
A poll question up. Oh yeah, I'm Hard Knocks is sending me, as the kids say.
We ain't talking about the game.
It's not. I hate having my team on Hard Knocks. It's bad for my mental health. But first, EJ, can you put that poll up? Can Lamar Jackson, will he surpass Peyton Manning's 5 MVPs? Love to hear from the audience on that. 888-710-4ISN. Love to hear from you.
Break down that touchdown.
Can I?
Never mind.
Can I? Did you see this scary headline about what happened to Andy Reid?
Oh my God! What is up with that?
So he's in his office. It's after midnight. This is last year. A random weekday. I'm presuming he's like breaking down film, and someone fired a bullet into his office, apparently 15 feet away from him. I mean, this would have been such a tragedy that thankfully was avoided. I'm sorry. This is a weird story. There are no leads in this day and age. I'm not claiming like a conspiracy or anything. I'm just surprised. Pearl, there are cameras on everyone at all times. And I know you've been to Arrowhead. I've been to Arrowhead. It's like next to the highway. You can't walk there. There's not, I don't know. No one's got a license plate. No one's got a make and model of a car. No one has any idea where the shooter was. Like, how are we have no details when I imagine we all know we're being watched at all times, especially in cities. But this is outside a professional stadium. And by the way, you got the Royals. Kauffman Stadium is literally next door. So you should have 1,000 cameras at this place.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm understanding correctly what you're putting down, Chiefs trade Sky Moore yesterday. You think that it was revealed that maybe he was behind this?
Oh, God.
No, I'm totally kidding.
No,
Sky Moore, I've seen him try and catch the ball. Like, he could miss by 15 feet if he was aiming at Andy Reid.
That is cold.
No, I mean, it sounds like a random, drive-by shooting that I actually read it. I'm like, I don't think they were targeting Andy Reid. I think somebody fired a gun.
But there's nothing else there around the stadium.
Again, it's a mystery. I have no idea. And I love that he put in bulletproof glass. So obviously he thought he was being targeted.
just crazy. And this was at the stadium, right? Are the offices at the stadium? That's what I was led to
That
believe.
I'm not sure about.
Not that there was somewhere else, like in an office. It's got to be at the stadium, right? Where they don't have like a practice. I don't think they have a practice facility.
The practice facility is not too far from
It's right
Arrowhead.
there,
Yeah,
okay.
It's right around the corner.
So maybe it was right there. But again, it's like
Yeah.
in the complex of around where the stadiums are. How do you not have cameras?
Yeah, I'm looking at the satellite of like Arrowhead, Kaufman, that area, and there is literally nothing. It's not like it's in downtown or anything like that where people could possibly just walk up and fire a gun. I don't know. It's weird.
Weird story.
Do you think it could have been that they know and they're hiding it because it was someone involved with the team and they don't want a giant scandal?
Who wants to assassinate Andy Reid right now?
Well, I mean,
Did he
people
steal
are-
somebody's nuggies?
People are crazy, but they had obviously that very serious thing that went down with the very
Javon Belcher,
tragic
yeah.
case with Javon Belcher with the murder
Yeah,
suicide.
and also they had a shooting at the championship parade. Right, it was
Yes.
right down there too.
That and then coupled with what went on at the league office
Oh,
in
the
New York. I mean,
And yeah, listen, the Chiefs have never been. They're not the Patriots with Aaron Hernandez, but they've always courted controversy. I mean, they had Javon Belcher, then they drafted Tyreek Hill when the rest of the league would not touch him.
I just think I wouldn't you want to know like if this is a random act of violence or if this was somebody who really has some kind of delusion thing about Andy Reid or something, a gripe against the Kansas City Chiefs or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's a great question.
Like, how are there no leads? This is so odd to me. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476.
I mean, listen, we live in New York City. Sometimes there are random guns fired that go places that are not supposed to go.
No, I know.
But the isolation of this does seem weird. Like, you can't be just driving the street. It can't be a mistaken thing. I have a question. It's way less serious.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever thought about when you fire a gun up in the air, what happens to the bullet when it comes down? I'm
Every
sure
single
there's
day.
some science on this, but I've
Every
never
single
gotten a
day.
full explanation.
I thought about this when I heard this story.
That's what I did
I was
too.
like, is there a way maybe somebody was firing a gun off like randomly in the air and somehow
Yeah.
it hit his window?
That's what I was kind of wondering.
I guess I should I think about that?
Oh, it's a lot of people have written about it, talked about it, but if you fire a gun straight up in the air, the bullet's got to come down at some point.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
see
it's
Manny's doing some research on his phone.
Yeah, well, it's like that urban legend that I think is real that like if you drop a penny off the Empire State Building, you could like crush somebody's head.
Oh, I believe
Oh,
that.
it cut right through you.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, yeah. So I think about this. I think about that as well. So to me, a bullet you think would be the same thing.
You know, it's funny. There's like a saying around New York City that only the tourists look up. I look up all the time. I'm so worried someone's going to drop something or some
Really?
air conditioner is going to fall on your head or something like that.
So
Oh,
what-
yeah. I
what
look
good
up.
would looking
I
up
look
do?
like I came like straight off the bus.
I got to be honest, looking up towards falling air conditioners, you're going to run right into somebody and cause an even bigger problem.
No, everyone's got headphones in. So I was thinking, even if someone was saying, hey, look out, like I'm so busy listening back to the show or something.
So, Pearl, a bullet fired, according to AI Overview, a bullet fired straight up into the air will initially travel upwards, slowing down due to gravity and air resistance until it reaches its peak altitude. At that point, it will begin to fall back down, accelerating until it reaches its terminal velocity, which is the speed at which air resistance balance gravity. While the terminal velocity of a falling bullet is significantly lower than its initial muzzle velocity, it can still be enough to cause serious injury or even death upon impact. So it does come down, just not as fast.
Interesting.
Man, so we got another thing to be worried about. What else can we
Yeah.
add to the list today? You've already brought up the zombie apocalypse and how we're all screwed.
So Fast and Furious, they were just shooting off guns to start races, and people were possibly getting injured.
Were there
10
bullets
minutes
in
later.
those guns that they were shooting them off?
Whatever just
I
happened.
Those are
assume-
blanks,
I
I
don't
would
know.
Three,
hope.
2, 1, go. How about that? Patrick?
Yeah. When you do a starting gun
Ready, set, go.
at an official race, that's a blank, I would hope.
Red light,
I mean,
green
that
light.
definitely
yeah,
is.
but I don't think that Dom and the folks in Fast and Furious are using blanks. I think they're using the real deal.
You're right.
Wait
You're
until
right.
this paper touches the ground, then go. Wait until
Yeah, there
this
has
napkin
to be
falls
a
to the
safer
ground.
way to do this. You're right.
I actually learned something today on the Maggie and Perloff show for once.
That's what we do. We entertain and we educate.
For once. I don't think about it as much with bullets, although I will now. So thanks, everybody. But I think about it sometimes with like 4th of July, like fireworks. Is there residue? And I don't get that close, but is there firework residue that falls
Yeah.
on people's heads?
EJ? I don't know why I'm looking at you. I feel like you
Why
should
would I
know.
know that? I have no idea.
EJ is the smartest one out of all of us.
He's got the most degrees.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I don't think you can do fireworks out west because they've had severe forest fire issues all summer
Yeah.
long.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of rules about what you can and cannot do. I watched a huge fireworks display in my neighborhood this year.
Yeah.
New York was down in my neighborhood. And I actually, of course, I always wonder that. Like when these embers hit the ground, like what's to stop them from burning somebody? I have no idea. But you'd ever hear about somebody getting hurt in a fireworks show.
Same thing about the bullets. I feel like you never hear about somebody who's like, the bullet came from the sky.
Yeah, because I mean, I think about that incident. I don't know why, but like Steven Jackson with Jamal Tinsley and them when they were outside the strip club, and Steven Jackson fired off, a gun.
Yeah.
in the air.
Old tale.
Yeah, he fired off a gun in the air to try to get the guys to stop. But I always wondered where did that bullet go? Did he not hit anybody with that? Like he must have got lucky.
It's just got to be 1 million to one shot. It's one of those things. Like one bullet falling down. I don't think it goes straight up and straight back down either.
It's a fun
get
game.
Off course.
What can we make Maggie panic about? I think, this is a woman who's scared of squirrels. It's amazing that I thought I was sort of uptight, but you are really creative in your fears.
It's women, man. I think.
I don't know about that. I don't know
more...
any other women who are afraid of squirrels.
Oh, well, that's one's unique to me. I think that there's something about a woman's brain that gets weirdly rewired, and especially after you have a kid. My whole life is just one disaster scenario after another.
It's probably biological.
I
in
think
some way.
so.
Huh? I did not know this.
I know. It's another way that women just get totally hosed.
That explains so much for my mother.
Yes.
Oh, is your mom? Yeah, my mom's like that too.
She's probably worried about these random things you would never even consider.
Dude. Yeah, she lives in a panic state, constant pessimism. I'm like, Mama, smile.
Yeah, that's not helping.
Yeah, I mean.
Mom, smile. She's probably envisioned her brain. I can only imagine, especially with you, Manny. She's probably worried you're going to drop a radio into a bathtub or something. I mean, anything.
I'm coming back from the Bronx from Yankee Stadium, just completely changed my name, just completely inebriated, and my mom just wondering, just hoping that I'm not doing anything bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm all right, Mama.
I told Maggie before the show, I'm just going to out her. My daughter asked me a question last night. She pulled me aside and said, Daddy, I have a question. What's the point of it all? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, at the end, we're just going to end up being dust. She's 13. I'm like, you're 13. You have 8th grade coming up. Do not worry about this. I know we're on a spinning rock around the sun.
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
Heads were another day closer to death.
Yeah, maybe she's listened to too many Mike McDaniel press conferences. Jeez, coach. Think of the kids.
Emma and Mike McDaniel could sit and talk about the state of the world for a half hour easily. They remind me so much of each other, and I'm actually not kidding at all. I hear him talk, I'm like, oh, he lives in my house.
Let's sprinkle in some Joe Mazzulla in there. Oh, what a conversation that ought to be.
Yeah, she'll start randomly sprinting like Mike McDaniel. It's so weird.
Hitting the vape, too, on the sideline.
Yeah, she's hitting the vape. I don't know. She's a child being raised in New York City. It's possible. But, Pearl, so what did you say to her?
I said... Basically, I said...
She said, what does it all mean?
I said, you have to live in the present. And this is advice to everybody out there listening. You can't do anything about the past, and you can't control the future. The only way to really be spiritually aligned is to live in the present. And I'm like... And then we had an honest discussion about higher power and God, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we need to go to break.
Was she receptive to it?
No, she was in a state of panic because of some book she read about basically it was a book about AI killing us all.
Oh, lovely.
But it wasn't just killing us all. It's a very famous story where AI gets so mad at humanity that they take 5 humans and make them live forever in a living hell.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's like a bestseller.
Why is a 13-year-old reading this?
Maggie,
you have no idea what's out there in the literature world.
Ban those books.
You better stop slandering AI on the show, Maggie.
I'm the only one who's saying please and thank you to the robots, all right?
Well, you constantly complain about what AI over you spits back at you.
Even they know they need to upgrade.
Oh,
those AI robots, they're smart enough to know that AI overview sucks.
Mr. Intelligence,
Yeah.
That's the thoughts of Miss Maggie Gray and nobody else on the show.
Mr. Intelligence.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I'm glad you guys had that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, here's the plot. It's called Amazing Digital Circus. A woman finds herself trapped in a crazy circus-themed virtual world while 5 other humans in the same situation are now subject to the whims of a crazy artificial intelligence. Yeah, no wonder she's worried about the future of the world.
I mean, I'm freaked out by that.
Close the schools. Close the schools.
Yeah, you sound like your mom, Manny.
You guys ever see the movie Terminator?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We're in it. When future Andrew runs in and says, Maggie, turn off the mics. They're coming, the robots.
If you're with Linda Hamilton, I will melt.
Because you're such a big fan. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that we're all gone.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah. We're doomed. Well,
I'm glad you didn't say that to Emma.
how did we go from Lamar Jackson winning 5 MVPs to artificial intelligence killing us all?
I don't know.
Something about bullets being shot in the air.
Oh, yeah.
That thing.
Andy Reid's fine. That's the bottom line, and thank goodness, because that could have ended terribly. All right, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. What's an easier question when you have a kid? What does it all mean? Like your 13-year-old asked you yesterday, meaning of life and all of that. Or when you get the where do babies come from? Because that question is also a doozy. It's a way more scientific answer, but it still stinks.
I thought you were going to say, or how many MVPs will Lamar Jackson win?
EJ,
Also-
put it on the poll. What does it all mean, and how many MVPs will Lamar Jackson win? Because honestly, isn't that the same question? All right, let's get back to college, shall we? We will tell you what a successful season looked like for the following 4 Power 4 teams. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. Last segment, we were talking about the meaning of life. We just saw a random rock spinning around the sun. Manny, you said this song is the meaning of life?
Hey, man, life is the highway, and you should just ride it all night long.
Manny the other day said that he listened to Michael Jackson's Man of the Mirror, and it changed his life. So I think you're easily influenced.
He also said it was the best Michael Jackson song, which is very wrong.
I don't think I was. Maybe I did say that, but I was being hyperbolic. I love Michael
By
Jackson.
Myles Garrett, we did earlier in the show, the Cleveland Browns star, couldn't answer a question about it driving 100 miles an hour. He should just hit play on the song on his phone and said, "Life is a highway." Would have everybody be like, "Yeah, you know what?
You're
That's
right.
a good tune."
He's a good point. Good point, Miles.
And all of a sudden, everyone's just bopping their head along to Life is a Highway.
You know, he was driving dangerously, but man, that's got a good rhythm to it.
Maybe that's what he rocks out to when he hits 100 on the speedometer.
Can you Miles Garrett player comp, Lightning McQueen, baby.
Chris LoPresti is here with us doing updates today. CeeLo, what's going on in the world?
All right, spend a little time with the Steelers here, sort of. First of all, Cam Hayward back to taking part in portions of practice this week, but no reported progress on any contract negotiations as part of his hold-in. He wants a new deal and or a raise. Meantime, he recently had Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf on his Not Just Football podcast. You might recall back in March, I think it was, Hayward made some headlines commenting on the Steelers' pursuit of Rodgers and how long it was taking the veteran QB to make up his mind. Yes, very funny, Aaron. Well, that was quickly addressed, Hayward to Rodgers, when he joined the show.
Well, I have to apologize. I guess my words were taken out of context when I asked you, or when I said if you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Now, how did you feel about that?
I was hurt. Yeah, I was hurt. You didn't reach out, and you just wanted to make a statement in the media. You had a preconceived notion of who I was, obviously.
I did.
And how has that changed over the past few months?
It's been good. Yeah, okay. You came to my cookout. You came to my golf outing. I appreciate that.
All right, so it seems like they're doing just fine now. Now, a quick refresher on his words that, as he said, were taken out of context.
Yeah, on his own podcast.
His own podcast, yes.
I ain't doing that or darkness retreat. I don't need any of that crap. Like, either you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't. That's simple. That's the pitch. Like, if you want me to recruit, that's the recruiting pitch. You know, Pittsburgh Steelers. If you want to be part of it, so be it. If you don't, no skin on my back.
Seems pretty crystal clear to me. I don't know which part
So
was
you
taken
don't
out.
know me.
Context.
Yeah. No, Cam Hayward looks like a huge hypocrite, too, after he sat out. It's like, well, do you want to be here? Do you not want to be here?
That's
You could
right.
ask the same thing for him. Obviously, he's got a lot more skin in the game
think
with the
he's a bum.
Steelers. But this is the thing where, okay, so Rodgers will claim that no matter what he puts out there all the time, once you meet him, it's a completely different thing. But, like, we're not all going to meet Aaron Rodgers, right? So Cam Hayward said, Rodgers says to him, hey, I'm a lot different, right? And Cam goes, yeah,
it's been good.
It's been all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Like, no, I think that Cam Hayward is basically telling Rodgers, you're exactly as you come off on the McAfee show and all the other podcasts.
Don't be a freaking weirdo.
I don't know. I can't believe it's that simple that Cam Hayward, a longtime NFL vet, is giving any kind of honest opinion here. Is there a layer of sarcasm here? I'm very confused.
It seems extremely awkward to me. And I'm going to just go one step further. Maybe podcasting isn't for Cam Hayward, you know?
Wow.
Whoa.
I'm being serious. Did it even seem like he wanted to talk to Aaron Rodgers there? It felt like somebody was like, you should have Aaron Rodgers on your pod.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we should give the whole show a listen.
Sure.
We've used clips from that show even beyond just that Rodgers takedown that he did.
Yeah, when I first became aware that Cam was doing the pod, it was actually kind of a sad thing. He was the last interview that Franco Harris did before he passed away. Was on Cam Hayward's podcast. So
way to bring it down, Mag.
I'm just saying, Pearl, you're talking about the apocalypse. This is child's play. No, but I don't know.
I mean, I think Hayward, when he retires, which should be soon, can go to the media. He's obviously a pretty interesting guy.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to make of Rodgers as a whole.
He's
with the Steelers.
He's the enigma.
I got Cam Hayward was like, I really like Cam Hayward. He's an older brother. He brings his brother to his house and they have dinners together with the families. Like he was
Reminds you of you?
He was my favorite character on like AFC North Hard Knocks. And I feel like this summer is like kind of ruined my image of him.
A little
like
bit.
Taking a shot at Rodgers. Like I'm all for taking shots at Rodgers, but then you got to stand on business. Like what is this? Oh, I got taken out of context. Yeah. Just say, hey, I said some crap. Maybe I was wrong. I'm sorry. Let's move on. What is this? Like him bowing down to Rodgers like that looked weird.
I think there's a wink and a nod here.
Probably.
I think there's something else going on. EJ, you even said that. You're like, I'm not sure if there's a bit.
I've seen this video and heard this audio at least 25 times. I cannot tell if this is serious or not serious. I don't know. And the thing is, what I hate about it is if I come out with an opinion of one thing, Aaron Rodgers is going to say it's the other thing and say that I'm an idiot. Yeah, like, that's what he's going to do.
He plays both sides.
So I'm going to say, I think you were being sarcastic. And in like 3 years, he'll be like, no, I was serious about Cam Hayward. That really upset me. Or I'm going to say, oh, clearly you're upset. And he's going to be like, no, dummy. I was clearly
snowflake.
joking.
Yeah.
I've met Rodgers once, by the way. And I got to tell you, of all the NFL quarterbacks, we get to meet him a lot during Super Bowl week. He was I thought he was one of the nicest guys to come on set, but apparently, like, there's many different versions of Aaron Rodgers.
He's got a ton of charisma.
Yeah,
Definitely.
He asked me. He goes, I was sitting next to him, and he's like, "Hey, so what are you watching on Netflix? I'm looking for a good show." And I don't know what I said. Obviously, Game of Thrones or something. And then we ended up talking about Prestige TV for 5 minutes. I'm like, I am best friends with Aaron Rodgers. And then the funny thing is, other people told me stories where he's cold and standoffish.
Yeah, the guy who used to sit in this chair had a very bad experience with Aaron Rodgers.
What happened?
I think Sean Mraz on this network. I think he saw him at a Super Bowl party. I think Aaron Rodgers blew him off. Like he said something like, very innocuous to just greet him, and it was not fun. He still holds on to it because he tweets about it every year. It seems
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to. I mean, what was the name of the documentary?
Enigma.
Yeah.
Man's an enigma. We don't even know what that clip meant.
He's interesting, but tough to figure out. And the whole, wait till you meet me sort of thing.
And who's his wife, for God's sake? What is going
Brittany
on?
with an eye.
Yeah.
Do you know what she looks like?
Bigfoot. I'm actually with the consensus that he is not actually married. I don't think he's legally married. I think it's some other kind of ceremony.
Immunized version of marriage.
Yes, whatever that is, which I'm sure women love.
Legally married.
Yeah.
All right. So
do you think that Brittany with an eye hangs out with Joe Burrow's employee / wife?
Olivia with an eye? I don't know.
Yeah, this is I need like Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen. Like if we were to follow these quarterback
Haley with an
relationships, present the spouse to the public.
Right, just out there. People magazine, front page news.
Absolutely. I mean, all this again. Can we just get some straightforward Aaron Rodgers headlines here?
No, that he's not about straightforward.
Do you think Brittany with an eye comes to a Steeler game this year?
No.
Definitely not, right?
Or if she does, who would know? She's not Taylor Swift.
I don't think she shows up.
How would they even know, where to find her? Do we know what she looks like?
Here's a question. Do you think that he's being serious and telling her exactly what she does? I mean, we're into sports like so much, but there are people out there who don't know anything about sports or like zero, absolutely nothing. Yeah. If they met in some Costa Rican ayahuasca ceremony, she could live somewhere else. She might not even know what
Xavier Worthy.
I mean, I might have missed this. I was on vacation, but in the Taylor Swift documentary, she asked...
The podcast.
Sorry. It felt like a documentary. Or a podcast on New Heights. Might as well have been a documentary. She said on the first date to Travis, what was it like to line up 5 feet across from your brother?
Right. Yeah, people don't know.
Classic football mistake, right? Because obviously they're both offensive players. They're not on... So you're saying Brittany doesn't know ball?
What if he's like, I'm a lawyer?
Oh, okay. So yeah, all right.
You
Your
just making
theory
me
is
think of Ace Ventura. What do I
Brittany-
call you? Lawyer?
Brittany-
Tom Ace. Nice to meet you.
He met her in the jungle doing ayahuasca and convinced her he was an insurance salesman. And she doesn't even know he plays football. So he leaves in the morning. She's like, that is your theory here.
But he was like, I make small batch bourbon.
Well, that was a
Yeah.
running joke with
All
Kawhi Leonard, right? That he like basically tells his family that he goes on a business trip.
He doesn't say what he does.
Yeah, because he's so like that matter of fact. He's just like, oh, I'm going off for business. I'll be out for a week. I'll be back home soon. You can believe it with him, kind of.
Like he's at some convention center in Indianapolis.
And you think his family doesn't know that he's an NBA player?
No, that's the running joke on social
joke.
media.
Yeah,
It's been
joke.
that Kawhi Leonard, like he's so low key, he doesn't even tell his family that he's an NBA player. He just travels for business.
I like that. That'd
Just
be a
eating
fun.
apples. Remember when everyone
Be a
believed
fun,
that he only ate apples?
Board man gets paid.
So I can just picture Brittany with an eye sitting there watching TV on a Sunday, flipping around. Hey, that's my husband.
I know
What's he
that.
doing out on the football field? Where,
He said he was going out for groceries.
who's tending to the small batch bourbon that he's creating? I had to get down to the factory.
Aaron Rodgers, that sounds like my boyfriend Jordan's brother's name.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh. Jordan's married, right?
Oh, is he? I don't know.
Yes, he's married to a bachelorette.
Yeah, why are you causing trouble, Manny?
Like I give a care.
Oh, listen, there's trouble already there. Manny didn't do anything.
Jordan's got trouble?
With Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant with his
Family
wife.
drama.
No. Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
speak.
yeah. All right, so we go from two very handsomely paid men right there in Rodgers and Hayward, and Hayward's looking for more.
Yep. To me.
Then to the likes of Manny, myself, and Bears backup quarterback Tyson Bagent, undrafted rookie out of Shepherd a few years back. Chicago took a shot on him. He's stuck, and yesterday he was rewarded with a 2-year, $10 million extension, and safe to say it was very much appreciated.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people don't know this, but my dad is he's my right hand man, and he didn't even have running water until he was in high school. So there's definitely a lot of things and people that I think I could certainly help with this gift I've been blessed with.
Now, Bagent grew up in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Here was the last part of that sequence from his press conference yesterday.
Yeah, just little things like that. Like, I don't really know anybody back at home with any money, so yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's certainly a weight off my shoulders and my family's shoulders, and yeah, it definitely means a lot.
Nice to hear those takes every now and then in pro sports, right?
Was that a dad joke stuck in the middle? My dad is my right-hand man. His dad famously an arm wrestling
I
champion.
was going to bring that up, yeah.
Hello.
Do you think he was doing a bit? He's
Yeah,
crying.
yeah.
over there.
But my dad is my right-hand man.
No
You guys
pun
would've-
intended.
What if he's a lefty?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Well, I'm looking at it's funny you say that because I'm looking at images and I actually think I see his dad is a righty in these ones I'm looking at. But then
Wait, can you, if you're a professional arm
Yeah.
wrestler, which his dad is like is that, and
Arm
also
wrestling champion.
right out of the
Get it
over
right.
the top, you can't be lefty.
Yeah, they compete.
It's probably a lefty competition.
Are there lefty
you have
clubs?
you can only face another lefty.
Right, exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's a good
Right.
point.
So it'd be like Tua versus Dylan Gabriel could arm wrestle, but
No, it's like weight classes, right? You got like your heavyweights and your lightweights. Like I'm sure there's a lefty division and a righty division.
And that's
Lefty division.
That's a Fugazi World Championship then. Not as many lefties.
Yeah, what are there 4 people in the world who are lefty who do this?
It's like the FCS. The FBS is the real championship, and the FCS is, the lefties.
I love a lefty athlete.
By the way, Jim Nagy and CeeLo, thank you so much. Jim Nagy, who is the GM now of the Oklahoma football program, who was a longtime scout in the NFL. Your friend, Perloff's been friends with him for a long time, and now I've become acquaintances with him too, and he's great. And the first time we talked to him, we were like, Jim, give us somebody in the draft this year who nobody's talking about. And hand to God, he said Tyson Bagent from Shepherd University. I thought he was messing with us. I've never even heard of that place before.
Yeah.
And now the dude's going to be Caleb Williams' backup probably for the next decade.
Looks fantastic in preseason. Travis Bagent, left-handed champion as well.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
He's
I think
amphibious.
he might go both
Nope.
ways.
He goes both ways. I
Oh,
bet a
that's
lot
a
of them do.
But I was wrong. He's winning all these left-handed. He's considered by many the greatest left-handed arm wrestler of all time.
And the only.
But you said you saw pictures with right as well.
I swear I did.
So maybe they're required to do both then.
That would make sense.
Right?
Geez. I
Switch
think
hitters.
Got to be able to go
maybe
both
it's
ways.
like best 2 out of 3, and like the first game 1 is righty, game 2 is lefty.
today's a day where we
athletes.
need the entire ESPN stats and info research department behind us. There is honestly AI was invented for days like this. We got to find out, does Travis Bagent wrestle with both hands? Because otherwise, perfectly good dad joke ruined.
Strong arm, advantage very important in the playoffs of arm wrestling.
Somebody
make sure you get that right hand for game one.
Somebody wake up Elias. Tell him to get to work.
And it's only arm wrestling related questions. All right, CeeLo, thank you so much. Coming up. Oh, speaking of feats of strength, got a gripe. Tell you about it next.
You're in a 5-minute break.
The secret spark, the engine roar. For Maggie and Perloff, we all know Manny Rodriguez is the chromosome. Maggie drained 8 in a row, ice cold on the punt table. Perloff rolled 5 strikes, unstoppable, no fable. Short circled the bases inside the park home. AJ was airborne, dunked between his legs, full throw. Maggie drained 8 in a row, ice cold on the punt table. Perloff rolled 5 strikes, unstoppable, no fable. Short circle the bases inside the park home. EJ went airborne, dunked between his legs, full thrown. It's the legend, the myth, the life of the own. Manny Rodriguez, the chromosome. Every highlight, every love on the radio. He's the DNA, the soul of the show.
Will Daly packed his racket, heading west with pride, up to Denver's mountains where the tennis streams collide. He's stepping on that hardcore with the Rockies in his view, chasing down a victory with a heart that's tried and true. Oh, Daly's taking a big step up, the Mile High Lights are calling his bluff. But back at home, the same old song where Peter Bellotti don't show up for work at dawn. Yeah, the anthem's playing, the truth still stands. Daly's fighting in Denver with the racket in his hands. Now shit keeps talking, but one thing's sure, it'll never stream on YouTube. That door's not secure, and Bogush is laughing instead of tales so absurd about Peter Schwartz and a story you never heard. Drunkle Sam's at the office, Snoop Boss in control, pouring coffee in the break room with a humble old soul. Oh, Daly's taking the big step up, the Mile High Lights are calling his bluff. But back at home, it's the same old tune where Peter Bellotti don't show up for work at dawn. Yeah, the anthem's ringing, the voice is loud. Daly standing tall.
Sitting in my room, scrolling through the tube, watching Maggie and Perloff, getting in the groove. Found a viewer in the chat, his name's Delta 9 Brian. Spitting fire comments, he's the #1 fan. Got his fingers moving, stepping non-stop. Drop the dog.
One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this portion of the show is brought to you by Wesley Financial. Stuck in a timeshare and want out? Contact Wesley Financial Group now and get a free timeshare exit information kit at wesleyfinancialgroup.com. What a random show. Maggie, what else you got?
Well, I feel like I'm stuck in a bad relationship as well, but it's a bad relationship with celebrity boxing. I'm over it. We got yesterday, it was announced that Jake Paul is going to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, who actually, flawed dude, but is actually one of the great boxers that we have right now. He's a lightweight, and Jake Paul, who's 200 pounds, so he's 60 pounds heavier right now than Tank Davis, but he's not going to fight at that weight, obviously. But they're going to fight, Pearl. We know where. It's going to be Atlanta. We know when. It's going to be November. We have no idea what weight they're going to fight at, whether this is actually going to be an exhibition or is it going to count. And I'm just over it. I'm over the celebrity boxing matches. You know, I was over it when, it was Floyd Mayweather fighting Logan. Over it when it was Jake fighting Mike Tyson. And I know that it shatters these records for Netflix and all of that, but we need a heavyweight, like a real legitimate heavyweight champion in our lives. Not that there aren't guys out there now, but like the sport is dying for a little legitimacy here so we can be done with these weird, awkward mismatches that are just a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to quote Friends here. Manny, you ready?
Come on, lay it on me.
When Ross finds out Rachel is over him, what does he say?
When was I under you?
Exactly. How can you be over? Like, you were into it before? I'm going to say that's a flaw by you, Maggie. When were you under this celebrity? When have you ever been entertained by one of these? Because I never have.
Well, I think maybe it was a pandemic thing when we were so starved for sports. But no, I mean, listen, back in the day, Manute Bol, may he rest in peace, fought Butterbean. I mean, I wasn't into that stuff, but it was so obviously a circus. Tanya Harding, would get in the ring. There's something about what the Paul brothers have done here. And I actually like Logan in the WWE. I think that's a great spot for him. He seems like he's taking it really seriously. He's good on the mic. Something about like it's Jake Paul's world, And listen, I'll give Jake Paul this. He does, I guess, treat it seriously. He's not mailing it in. You can see his body is completely changed and all of that. But, you're going to fight. It just, to me, boxing has an opportunity where they could actually get back on the map in some way if they just had maybe a great American heavyweight. And I don't even know if the person has to be American. Just like a compelling figure that's not, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and some of the guys who we've already watched. Am I wrong on this?
I don't know. Boxing is funny because it did have like a brief comeback a few years ago, but never to where it was. It's never going back to Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Larry Holmes, Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, although networks are shelling out money for UFC and WWE like crazy. So you're right. There is money to be made, but just because that doesn't mean the popularity is going to be back. I don't know if there's just so much out there now. Like they back in the day, they never competed with UFC. They didn't compete with WWE in the same way. I can't imagine there's this mythical champion out there who's going to bring it back. Like a Mike Tyson. Is that ever going to happen again?
It's so tough because there's so many different belts. There's so many different promotions where this guy won't fight that guy because they're in a different promotion. It just makes it all complicated. Like, Pearl, you grew up in the golden era of boxing where it was just the best fighters fought, and we knew all of who they were, and they weren't fighting once every 2-3 years. It was just a different time, and now all we have are these sideshows, and it's tough because I'm a boxing fan. I still watch boxing. I'm very excited for Canelo versus Terrence Crawford, but like the fact that they even kind of had to maneuver that thing where Crawford's going up 3 weight classes in order to fight Canelo because these are by far the 2 biggest stars, even though they're kind of still mismatched. We can't get just like a simple, great boxing match with 2 people that we are following closely that can build some kind of rivalry. And then I think boxing really lost its way with the pay-per-view.
I'll tell you what, from the point of view of a Mexican, I mean, he just brought it up, Canelo Alvarez. I mean, every Cinco de Mayo weekend, every September 16th weekend, Mexicans are watching Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
So the boxing might have waned a little bit here, but I don't think within the Mexican population.
How old is Canelo Alvarez?
He's getting up there. He's been boxing for 15 years now.
And I feel like also like we're relying on old guys. Like I mean, and you bring up a good point. Like they don't fight until they're like 36. Like,
well, but to be fair, Canelo took on Floyd Mayweather probably too early. And people actually criticize, how maybe he or Oscar De La Hoya kind of, handled his career. But I get why he signed that huge contract with DAZN. I would have signed that contract too.
But I think the media landscape is too spread out. EJ, I think you were saying that. Like it's going to be hard to capture the nation's attention again.
But if Netflix wants it and all these, subscription services where we're already paying anyway, I just said, do we need the celebrity boxing aspect to it? Like, let's get some.
That's all we got.
Legitimate champs out there. Anywho, okay, lots more to do, including every day we are answering one big question about the quarterback. We will do that next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
We get to which college games we're most looking forward to week 0 and week 1. But first, we've got some NFL quarterback stuff to get to. Welcome to the show, Maggie. Great. Andrew Perloff. Pearl, every day we've been going through every quarterback room in the NFL, one a day, up until the season, to just get a temperature and take the temperature of what every team is looking for. Yesterday was the Indianapolis Colts, and that's an outright disaster. Today we tackle a team that actually has maybe some hope. Manny, hit the music.
It's great for the NFL that you have great quarterback play.
Finding the right quarterback can change your franchise forever.
Can you throw it like a quarterback, third and a lot?
32 teams, each with just one signal caller.
It's my quarterback.
Maggie and Perloff answer one big question about the quarterback.
All right, EJ, who's up today?
All right, so we're staying in the AFC South, which means we go to Jacksonville and talking about one Trevor Lawrence, who, of course, was drafted number 1 overall and considered a generational prospect. But I ask you guys now, after seeing Trevor Lawrence for several years, will Trevor ever live up to his gaudy potential we thought when he came out of the draft?
Okay, that I know what you're talking about. It was huge potential, generational quarterback like Andrew Luck. I have nice things to say about Trevor Lawrence right now. Watch him in the preseason. Dude, it's just a reminder, he's got so much talent. I think they're fixing things in Jacksonville with Liam Cohen. I think we're going to see a much improved Trevor Lawrence. If you are asking, is he going to win a Super Bowl? I am certainly not sure, but I think he is going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback at some point within the next 3 years. I think he looks really good. I think he's got, all of a sudden, a scary receiving core if they stay healthy. We'll see with Travis Hunter. I think it's a very interesting quarterback, and I've been reading a lot of reports that he has matured over the last couple years. I think this is going to be a much improved Trevor Lawrence. This year, I don't think the Jags are going to really be a great team. They have a lot of work to do, but I think you're going to start to see a lot of signs like, oh, Trevor Lawrence is spicy, and I think they're going to trend up the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I sold all my Lawrence stock. It was fun while it lasted. A couple of years ago, Pearl, I picked them actually to go to the Super Bowl because I thought they would have the number 1 seed and they would get that bye, and then they get the home games and all of that. And, it's gone really bad. And I got to be honest, the expectation was so high for Trevor Lawrence that for him just to make a Pro Bowl or something is still going to feel pretty disappointing. I mean, you mentioned Andrew Luck. John Elway were the comparisons. We were in some pretty lofty territory when it came to Trevor Lawrence, and we have not seen anything close to that. Now, is all of it his fault? No, of course not. It takes a lot of people to fail in this kind of a way. But I don't see how some of the core things that are wrong with Jacksonville, how that's going to change. We love having Tony Khan on the show. He's been a friend of the show, and we appreciate when he comes on the show. But they have a problem hiring. And they've tried all different types of things. Urban Meyer set them back in a way that we probably couldn't have even understood. Doug Peterson just doesn't have the same juice when he's either not with Andy Reid or in Philadelphia, clearly. And now you're going to Liam Cohen and the GM James Gladstone. If you told me these guys were also just going to be out of their jobs in 3 years and back to their respective offense coordinators and assistant GM roles, I would 100% believe you. And in fact, I don't think Jacksonville has earned the benefit of the doubt. They're not great at hiring, guys. They're just not. Who was their GM right before James Gladstone, who no one's ever heard of? Trent Baalke. I mean, every 49er fan just threw up a little in their coffee. So I just... 2 playoff appearances in 17 years in a division that's this winnable, you're telling on yourself.
Duval.
32 touchdowns, 21 picks, already got a concussion and an AC joint sprain. I just think there's too much working against Trevor Lawrence right now.
Counterpoint. Dude's a stud. He's just he was throwing ropes all over the field. He was in his first or maybe he might have played in the first game too. I mean, he was just putting dots all over. Again, preseason vanilla defenses, no one's really going to hit him. I remember a couple years ago when the Jaguars led the entire league in having touchdown catches in the back of the end zone where one foot was on the back line. It just always felt like he was so close under Doug Peterson. Like, man, if you just tweak this offense a little bit. They have also showed a running game in this preseason. Who knows? That might not last. I just think that he is too talented to be total bust, despite everything you said is valid. I don't know anything about James Gladstone. He seems like a very, very interesting character, to be honest with you. He had that speech around the draft that is an all-timer about what football means to us all. And I love some Liam Cohen. He was awesome last year as a coordinator. So I just think that at some point he's too talented. Like, even if they have all these problems, like they're going to try different guys. I think Trevor himself is good enough to surpass all these organizational issues.
Yeah, this to me is a very cautionary tale here for Arch Manning. We're asking today about Trevor Lawrence and will he ever live up to his potential. But if I'm Arch Manning, I'm watching this, and I've said it about Arch. Doesn't matter how many years he's in Texas. It's about where he goes when he goes to the NFL. And look what Trevor Lawrence is dealing with. I mean, part of it, like, it's an uphill battle when you go to one of these bad organizations. And maybe they will turn it around. But we were praising the Browns after the Jags traded up in the draft this year to get Travis Hunter, who I know we both really like. But is Travis Hunter going to be able to live up to his expectations? Like, we were praising Cleveland that they got one over on Jacksonville. And that first-round pick from next year might end up being valuable.
Definitely a mistake. I'm down.
I'm just saying, bad organizations stay bad.
That's true, but good quarterbacks overcome that at some point. There are very few guys who are super talented who don't hit at some point. I mean, Carson Palmer was with the Bengals forever, and eventually he took off. Joe Burrow's with the Bengals. Don't forget 2 years ago when Joe Flacco won Most Improved Player with the Browns. I mean, if you can hit lightning, and I think this offense is going to be sneaky surprising. Now, the whole team as a roster has some filling out to do, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm actually looking at Trevor in fantasy. I think he's going to have a big year. I really do. You bring up health. He has definitely been nicked up a lot.
He's a tough dude, but, the concussion, the AC joint.
I mean, again, maybe I'm just using my eyeballs. You watch him drop back and throw the ball. It's like, whoa, it's gorgeous. I mean, he throws beautiful ropes to the sidelines. He's gigantically tall. He seems, now remember the rumor that he didn't love football because he had that Sports Illustrated story where he said he had other interests. It seems
They
like
said there's more to life than football.
Yeah.
I think
he's 25. It seems like he's mature. There's a lot of people who are at least giving lip service to his leadership this offseason. So I'm definitely willing to give Trevor Lawrence the benefit of the doubt and go on the positive side.
Everybody knows the quarterback.
Yeah, that Sports Illustrated article, that was like around right after he got drafted, and he said like there's more to life than football. I think that he's played hurt enough to show that he's like not tapping out. He was legitimately really banged up last year. I think he's probably let that go. I just think it's Jacksonville.
Yeah, and I also give him a little grace because he also, he's like a child prodigy. So I kind of think he needs to have that kind of approach because this is a guy who's been
since high school, yeah.
Yeah, the number one quarterback since basically 8th grade. So, I kind of like that approach, honestly, that he's not thinking that everything's about football or else, my life is meaningless.
Yeah.
Because a lot of kids growing up like the way he did, that would be their outlook.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think that was a positive with his speech. Like, he's definitely had some mentality issues. Like, he doesn't look like he hasn't grown into, like, when the team is going bad, you look to Trevor Lawrence and his style to rally everybody.
That might not be his leadership style.
Yeah.
And that's maybe that's a knock, but sometimes it's simple as the circumstances you're in. Like, I've been super down on Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, and I will remain down as long as he's there. I feel like second-team Trevor Lawrence could be a very dangerous proposition for the rest of the league in terms of, like, I think he could end up being maybe the guy that we think he could be.
He signed a 5-year, $272 million deal. There was ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum said that maybe the Jags draft a quarterback next year. No. That is more
Not
money.
with that kind of money.
Oh, I mean, well, I don't know what the actual guarantee was, but remember he got paid. So I don't think they're not going to want him to walk out of the building. He might have to pull a Carson Palmer and say, I want to get out of here. But he's a bit low-key. He fits Jacksonville. You can't really be under the radar in the NFL, but if there's any spot to do it, wouldn't you say Jacksonville?
But that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing because you're talking about these good quarterbacks. Like, you can't hold them down. Like, the good ones will eventually show how good they are.
Yeah, and
Isn't that what Jacksonville was probably hoping when they landed him with the number 1 pick?
I mean, he did win a playoff game. He hasn't been Jamarcus Russell or anything like that.
No, he won a playoff game against the Chargers, who had to charger.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good.
Blew a 27-point lead?
You picked him for the Super Bowl because he looked good enough. I mean, he had his moment where it looked like it was ascending. Then injuries and organizational dysfunction. You're absolutely right. I mean, I did not like this trade from 5 to 2. It just didn't make sense. Yeah, Travis Hunter, because I'm super high on Travis Hunter, but I will admit the durability does seem like an issue because he's not huge and he's going to try and play every snap, which he did in college. And here's the question. Is he good enough as a receiver to be a needle mover for Trevor Lawrence? Even I am having my doubts about that now.
Listen, Brian Thomas was a great draft pick for them. It's not like there's not talent on the team. They paid Josh Hines-Allen. We get it. But it's funny. Are the Jags going to end up being one of those teams where you're like, man, look at the college talent they had. They had Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter, like 2 Heisman Trophy winners and all of these big names, and then never really did diddly.
Did Trevor win one?
No, sorry, he didn't win one, but he was like the guy.
But
he won a national championship as a freshman.
I think they're most famous. They picked Trayvon Walker, 1 pick of Aiden Hutchinson. Now, Trayvon Walker's played better, but that's a haunt you pick. Because Aiden Hutchinson last year was going to be Defensive Player of the Year. They took one of the ATNs, Travis Etienne, in the first round. You don't take a running back in that position. He hasn't worked out. Trent Baalke struggled. There's no doubt about it. And he seemed to they were way too loyal to him. I think you nailed that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna give
hiring him was shocking.
I'm going to give some leeway to this young nerdy guy, James Gladstone. I'm into him.
With what evidence? You don't even like the move that they did for Travis Hunter. You just said that.
I think it was bold. I will give you that. It was bold. Will you admit that?
I mean, it's the only time that we've ever been praising the Cleveland Browns.
True. And somehow they screwed that up.
Maybe it's a way. Actually, Mason Graham, they seem to love, who they took with the 5th pick. I think it basically comes down to I love Liam Cohen, and you're not sold because of the funny press conference.
Duval.
It's not just the press conference, but that's an all-time.
Wait, what else is there? We don't know anything about him. He was great. Like Baker Mayfield had an all-time season last year with Liam calling plays. You don't know anything else about him.
I mean,
listen, he made Will Levis into a second-round pick.
That was probably his best thing, but that was college.
No, it was last year. Tampa Bay's offense was fantastic with Liam Cohen. And he's got that Sean McVay vibe or whatever. He was a Sean McVay guy. So it does seem promising. Like, if anybody, I think it's good. They got a pure young offensive coordinator. Doug Peterson, I kind of felt like he was mailing it in toward the end.
Well, Doug, they needed because they just needed some respectability because Urban Meyer just completely lit them up. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. As cringy as that Liam Cohen soundbite is.
Duval.
And it's so bad. Not even in the same stratosphere as the Urban Meyer video with the young girl dancing like in his lap.
Oh, you weren't a fan of that video?
I can't even
What was your issue with it?
What's that?
What was the issue with it?
Is anyone
Maggie?
a fan or not a fan? It was just, if you're talking about level of cringeworthy, put that up on the poll, EJ. What was more cringeworthy? Duval from Liam Cohen or whatever that blonde woman was doing with Urban Meyer at that restaurant?
Don't put that poll up. Nobody thinks that was not the most cringy video of all time.
I can't even. Like,
But
it makes my skin crawl.
The only thing more cringier than that video was his explanation was that, I got to stay in Ohio to see my grandparents.
I know.
My grandkids.
Grandkids,
Sorry.
yeah.
My grandkids.
That's
why I'm hanging out.
She looked young enough, honestly, to be a grandkid.
Let's not go there, okay? I know you guys all hate Urban Meyer. Liam Cohen, the Duval thing, Notre reminds me of, who also had a terrible first press conference.
Lots of guys do.
But who has the highest winning percentage of any NFL active head coach?
Oh, my God.
Boo this man.
Honestly, if the Jacksonville had the roster and the GM that the Eagles did, yeah, maybe Trevor Lawrence would have a fighting chance in hell.
But he
they don't.
feels like Liam Cohen gives me a Nick Sirianni vibe a little bit. Just some young offensive coordinator who might look like he's totally out of place in a press conference.
I mean, at least Liam Cohen called plays where he was. Like Nick Sirianni, like we realized he was a terrible play caller.
Yeah. And the guy's winning Super Bowls.
I know.
Not because of him.
But but it's still, the reality is he's winning Super Bowls. He seems doing something right. You ever want to see a funny highlight? Look at Liam Cohen playing quarterback in college.
At UMass.
Yeah, it looks like a fancy high school game. But you look at him, you're like, he does not look like a quarterback. Can we say that? He looks like he came up as a quality control coach, but then he was a big-time D3 quarterback. D2 or D3? D2.
You know who he was throwing passes to?
Victor Cruz.
Victor Cruz.
They were roommates, weren't they? Or do I make that part up?
I know they played together. I don't know if they lived together. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476.
You know who else was roommates? Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. Learned that they lived together in college. Did you? I knew they were friends, and also they won a national title. I don't know, for some reason I was not aware of that.
We have more Cowboys stuff for you. Perloff obviously elbows deep into the Jerry Jones documentary.
Then I could go from Liam Cohen to the 1966 Arkansas team? Or whatever. 61.
I don't think Jerry wants you talking about his college years. 888-710-4ISN. Okay, we have lots to do, including back to college. Not just that Notre Dame has named their starting quarterback, so what does that mean for the Fighting Irish, but also some other Power 4 teams will tell you what a successful season looks like for all of them. Maggie and Perloff.
Duval.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. We are fast approaching week 0, Maggie. I can't believe real football is going to be happening.
This weekend.
I was walking on the street yesterday. It was kind of a rainy day, but there were kind of leaves crunching underneath my feet, and I got this warm feeling all over me. I'm going to be sitting on a couch on Saturday afternoon watching actual college football.
K-State, Iowa State happening in Dublin. We'll get to what we're looking forward to from week 0 and week 1.
Football is happening.
Rah-rah football is happening. Let's get to our Power 4 conference preview. EJ will give us a team in the Power 4. We'll tell you what would a successful season look like for that team. EJ Stewart, go ahead.
All right, so let's get to Michigan State. Sparty, a successful season for the Spartans would be
7-5 in a bowl game.
Oh,
Michigan State, it's been a tough year.
Yeah.
Coming off their third straight losing season, went 5-7 last year. They've been 14-22 the last 3 years. That's their worst stretch in 40 years for the Spartans. But they have a dude at quarterback. They've got Aiden Childs. He's a potential pro, dual threat. They've got our top 10 tight end in the country, and Jack Belling. 7-5 pro would be successful. Get the Spartans to a bowl game.
So, Paul Meyerberg, USA Today, good dude, ranked all the teams in the country, and this made a headline. Michigan State came behind 5 MAC teams in his overall ranking. They were 15 out of 18 in the Big Ten, but then they were behind Toledo, Ohio, Miami of Ohio, and your Buffalo team.
And Buffalo, yeah.
The other
Buffalo's
Buffalo.
supposed to be pretty good.
Horns up, baby.
So the Sparty, the expectations are low. The fact that you said 7-5 would be a successful season, this is just kind of a bummer. I'm sorry. And Michigan State's athletic department has been the hot mess of all hot messes for so long.
Yep.
It just bothers me for something. And I'm still, honestly, I think people from that program should have been arrested over the last 10 years, but whatever. The football team, I'm very disappointed in them. I agree. 7-5 would be totally fine. Aiden Childs, he's interesting because physically, man, he looks like the guy. I just don't know.
Who's next, CJ?
All right, let's go to the ACC. The Ramblin' Wreck, a successful season for Georgia Tech would be.
Ooh, successful. I got to be honest. I think Georgia Tech's got to go on a run. They got to be interesting for the playoffs, believe it or not, because they had those big profile wins and close wins last year. I think this is time for Georgia Tech to make some noise finally. I can't remember the last time they were really a threat. I think that they have to challenge for the ACC title and at least be in the conversation for the playoff to have a successful season.
Love Haynes King. Love Jamal Haynes. These guys are really, really good, but I am fading Georgia Tech this year. This is going to be a surprising pick. Lost 3 starters on the offensive line. I love Brent Key, but they've been 7-6 the last 2 years, and I think it's going to stay about the same. Again, they're fun. The Georgia game last year, fantastic. I think they go 7-5 for a 3rd straight season. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think you're going to hear too much of an uproar about it. But that's the one team that I'm kind of fading here is Georgia Tech.
So they came in at about 28th in the AP poll. So they're borderline top 25. I feel like the ACC is so wide open, though.
That's true.
That you can, I don't know, like SMU last year. Is it possible? Would it shock you beyond shock if they were this year's SMU?
Well, I'm fading them, so yes, it would.
Okay.
EJ, who's next?
All right, let's go to the SEC and one Oklahoma. Boomer! What do you feel about the Oklahoma Sooners? A successful season for them would be?
What the hell was that all about?
I think a successful season, I think there's this pie in the sky. Like, again, love Jim Nagy. Jim Nagy are our guy. I think there's a pie in the sky idea that they are going to be like a college football playoff team and a national championship contender because of John Mateer. I'm not looking at it that way. I think this is an 8-win team. And I think that's actually going to be enough to save Brent Venables' job. He's in his 4th year. 2 out of those 4 years, he's had a losing record. Obviously, the change from the Big 12 to the SEC was not easy. But, Pearl, the one thing about John Mateer, who we think could be the next Cam Ward. That's what people are calling him, right? He was Cam's backup at Washington State. Well, Cam Ward actually played against a Pac-12 schedule.
Mm-hmm.
John Mateer, the Pac-12 disintegrated into dust. He was playing against a Mountain West schedule. And, he was good, but this is going to be a big change. This is their schedule this year. Amongst many others, they play Michigan, Texas, Alabama, South Carolina, LSU, Tennessee, Mizzou. How are we getting to 10 wins? I don't see it. 8, I think, would be amazingly successful for Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's so funny when you say that. Like 8 would be 8-5, 8-4.
Yeah,
that would seem like a disappointment because, unlike you, I am in love with John Mateer. John Mateer's YouTube highlights are elite. Like we're talking high first round elite. The guy runs like a madman. He's got a great arm. I'm just bullish on him. I think he's going to be great. That is a brutal schedule. You're absolutely right. And Oklahoma hasn't even sniffed anything since Lincoln Riley really left. So, yeah, I'm going to go a little higher. I think that's another team. Like, they have to at least come toward the end of the season, be in the conversation. Hey, maybe they have a chance to run for the playoffs. Like, so that would be 15 to 20 overall ranking. I think would definitely be like you should expect to be there if you're Oklahoma. You should not walk away from the season and not be ranked.
Last one, EJ. Who do you got?
All right. What will a successful season be for the Utah Utes out of the Big 12?
Those Utes, to quote Joe Pesci, Utah is another team. They in this conference, they have to challenge for the playoffs. They have a pair of tackles that the NFL is salivating over. So no matter what you say about Utah, like if your O-line is good, then you can do anything, passing or running the ball. And listen, they over the last couple of years with Cam Rising, they should have, and they did make a lot of national noise. Like they really should have become the dominant team in this conference. And I think they're going to be really good based on the fact that I heard it was Todd McShay talking about their 2 tackles.
Yeah, they're going to be first
just
rounders.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give the Utes the benefit of the doubt and think that they have a real chance to get out of this conference and be a playoff team. And I think that's the expectation there.
Yep. Successful season is win the Big 12. Easier said than done, but I think they can. You're talking about the 2 tackles, Spencer Fenno and Caleb Lomu. These are guys who are going to become household names if they're not, on your radar already.
Well, I don't know if a tackle, except for Orlando Pace, is going to become a household name.
I'm saying the 2 first-round tackles on one college team, that might get some attention. And I think Utah's going to have a really good year with Devin Dampier. You already mentioned him coming over from New Mexico. Last year, they had the worst passing grade in Power 4 college football, according to PFF. I think that's going to change. And when you have the second best O-line in college football, according to many, just like Perloff said, I think you can do big things. So Utah, the successful season, win the Big 12.
By the way, isn't it funny? How many Big 12 teams have we said a successful season will be
winning the Big
12? 6?
I think someone
8?
we said just getting to the Big 12 championship game would also be a success.
Yeah, well, then you get into the question, will they get 2 teams into the 12-team playoff or not? I think you got to kind of might have to win it this year because there's so much parity.
So tomorrow, Perloff and I will give our predictions for the 12-team college football playoff and then round by round and who wins the title.
Oof, a lot of pressure on that one.
I know. Right now, I only have one Big 12 team, just spoiler. But maybe I'll go back and relook, fresh eyes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, will the committee do what they promise and consider strength of schedule more? Will you get a 3-loss SEC team in? I think that's a bigger part of this debate. It's not even debating who's going to be good. It's debating what is the committee going to look at this year because you never know. It's year to year.
Let's get to Chris LoPresti, who's here with us doing updates. What's up, CeeLo?
All right, quick college football-related clip to get us started this hour. So last month, Greg McElroy made some headlines when he suggested Nick Saban, his former coach at Alabama, perhaps hadn't roamed the sidelines for the final time. Well,
What's up with
Saban, yeah, exactly. Very much threw some cold water on that one. Asked about the juicy rumor at the Nick Saban Legacy Awards in Birmingham earlier this week.
So, Coach, what do you say to the rumors that you are returning to the sidelines to coach?
You know, I don't know where that came from. You know, Greg McElroy played quarterback for us, and if he'd have done something like that when he was a player, he'd have got his ass kicked.
So retirement's still on for Saban, apparently, at least from a coaching standpoint. It's kind of funny. It's sort of the flip-flop of the Arch Manning situation, right? Because Arch was like, I don't know where that came from. You know, older man, younger player.
Yeah, right.
Not that McElroy's a college quarterback at this point anymore, but similar reaction to that whole situation.
Okay, so that's a funny line, and Saban is clearly taken to the media, clearly can work a crowd.
Oh, yeah.
It's his own, what was it, the Legacy
The
Awards?
Nick Saban Legacy Awards in Birmingham.
Oh, what?
I'm just telling you what the write-up said.
Listen,
Yeah.
fine. Hopefully they're raising money for charity. I'm sure they are.
They were. Yeah.
But it's funny, like a little doth protest too much. I mean, you got the good reaction from the crowd, but you could a simple no. Not if Greg had said that when he was our quarterback, he would have gotten his ass kicked. I mean, you could also just be like, nah, guys, you know what? I love what I'm doing now. Not a full throttle, I'm not coaching.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if he had said what you just described, we'd all take that as a non-denial denial.
I agree.
Yeah,
so
he kind of had to come in strong.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, why would I still get back to the question? Why would Greg McElroy make that up? Maybe he was mistaken, but it doesn't feel like knowing Greg McElroy a little. Like he doesn't seem like a hot take guy who would just pull that out of thin air.
No, he did. He explained it. He clarified it. I forgot exactly what he said.
Yeah, well, Greg's saying that it wasn't even something that he thought or
it was
he
someone
knew.
else told him. Yeah,
someone that he respected that usually didn't know told him this. He said he doesn't even believe it, but he said that he felt like he had to at least say it because someone he knew told him about it.
Let's not forget, this is all going on around the time we found out that Saban was still active on the recruiting trail trying to help Kalen DeBoer in the program. So it's not like he's sitting on the jet ski somewhere.
Yeah, and you watch him, and he looks like he could still coach. But he does also seem to really like TV.
He's good at it.
Yeah.
He's very good in the media.
But he's not going to do like Lee Corso, who's going to be retiring.
Why
Retired,
not?
but because I don't think he's going to be silly enough to like put the mascot thing on his head. Like Saban won't ever be the butt of the joke.
You got to retire the mascot then.
Yeah, I watched a little
That's
bit.
not happening after.
You don't think McAfee's going to do it?
No.
I hope not.
He's got the punt or the kick.
Yeah, the punt. Yeah, the kick, the field goal is his thing.
Also, I saw
could probably show him one or two things.
I saw a little part of this Lee Corso thing they're doing. Oh my God, they're going to be tears. That's coming up in 2 weeks. Lee Corso's final game day. I don't know why that's going to really affect me, but I think Saban could be there for life, though. That's one thing. Like, I don't think that he's going to do the silly stuff, but he could be there for 10 years. Would you see that?
Totally.
His charm is in coming across as grumpy, but being funny at the same time.
It's like a perfect commercial mix.
No filter. He just, you know, whatever's in there and whatever he wants to say, they pretty much let it fly.
It's a deadpan humor.
Yes.
He's very good at.
Like that. What's that commercial for?
Progressive.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, Affleck, maybe? Affleck?
Yeah, it has
when he goes, he
rules.
owns an Airbnb, and he says, you know, no more than 5-minute showers. Is it a spa?
No fun. He's on the list.
No more
of
than
rules.
2 flushes.
No fun allowed.
Good commercial. Good commercial.
A little scuffle at a Titans camp this week. O-line, D-line, and Cam Ward gets involved, and all of a sudden you got contact on the no-contact red jersey. Ward and Jeffrey Simmons, one-on-one, kind of. Some takeaways after the fact from the rookie QB.
Just strong as I would say. It was fun at the same time, and I think it was what we needed, though. I mean, we love competing, especially me, Jeff, and I'm excited to have that man as my teammate.
So good perspective from the young in there. We've got some mental warfare at play as well, but a mutual respect along the way.
Well, that's me and Jeff relationship. I wake up, I get here, he damn near the first one. I'm ready to talk shit. So, and he the first one who come in my head every day of practice. So he lets me know. And so, I'm excited to have him as my teammate. I mean, I think the biggest thing about Jeff is that he goes hard every play.
And usually in these instances, the quarterback is, safe from any blame or anything like that, can't be touched. But second-year head coach Brian Callahan kind of sticks up for Simmons in the D-line a little bit here.
Oh, of course, you don't want the quarterback being touched. The flip side of it is the quarterback enters willingly into the fray like that, then that's on him as well. So he's got to not do that and enter himself into that spot.
There you go.
Yeah, this is, in my opinion, going to be one of those things, Pearl, where if Cam Ward, if they win a little bit, if this is actually successful, then this leadership style that he's kind of displaying here, calling out teammates, getting into the fray, probably driving the coaches a little bit bonkers, all that will totally work, But if it doesn't work, everyone's going to get fired. He's going to probably be labeled as some kind of wild card, firecracker. Like, I can see it going both directions right now with Cam Ward, and I don't think they'll be a playoff team this year. The AFC is so crazy, but they've got to show a little improvement, and that this, like, his personality is wearing off in a good way, or else it's going to go super negative.
I don't think so. I think all that is irrelevant. I watched him in the preseason. Dude, A, he's got a cannon. B, he can move around like crazy. Like, he just, if it doesn't work with this coach, then get a new coach, because his talent just pops off the screen to me. Like, I don't even think it matters what his leadership style is. It could be like Trevor Lawrence, who has to get a new guy down the road. He's going to be really, really good at some point. The leadership stuff is like, it's not problematic though, right? He's clearly being kind of like, Cam Ward's kind of funny.
It's something. He's coming in with a ton of confidence, and I was wondering how it was going to go over a couple of weeks ago when he sat in front of the microphones and said, our offense looks horrible, looks awful.
He's like a humility guy, though. He's a 0-star recruit.
He's not acting like it, though. I mean, he's acting like he's walking in being the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, he also give you the, something about, like, my dad got up, in the middle of the night to go to a job he hates. I'm here, playing football. I love the game, sort of thing.
We love those stories. He's a great story. I'm just saying, like,
he's leading these 5 a.m. Film sessions. Like, he does not strike me as a problem person at all. He feels like, because he definitely, like, I've heard him talk many times. He has some humility to him.
That's fine. That's fine. Everyone's got a lot of things about them, right? Like, we're all got many sides to us. I'm just saying, if it goes badly, he's going to say what he means. He's not going to hold back. So that can cause headlines. I'll put it that way.
I think there's something I like, too, the fact that Jeffrey Simmons, I don't want to call him a bully, because he's a great player and he's a tough guy. But I kind of like that the rookie quarterback comes in and is like, I'm going after the biggest, toughest guy on the team.
Yeah.
So you,
like prison.
I'm talking, kind of. So he's like, you, Jeffrey Simmons, I'm talking crap to you, which I don't think most rookies would. I bet Will Levis didn't. Like, most guys don't want to talk to Jeffrey Simmons because he'll talk to anybody and fight anybody. He went to fight a reporter last year. We talked about that last season. So Jeffrey Simmons is a bad dude, and I mean that in a good way. And so Cam kind of stepping up to him like that, I kind of like.
Well, Will Levis also came in with his tail tucked between his legs because he fell out of the first round and just sat there in the green room until the team took him in the top of the second round. Cam Ward comes in as the number 1 overall pick. Yeah. You have power the moment you walk through the door.
But he's a different kind of number 1 pick in the sense that, like, it's like if a number 1 pick is made in the woods, will anyone hear? Like, nobody's paid any attention to him whatsoever. He was by a mile the number 2 story in the draft behind Shedeur Sanders. Like, it's Tennessee. It is as under the radar as you get. Jeffrey Simmons might be the lowest profile perennial Pro Bowler there is in the entire NFL. Like, I just think that the what you were describing is sort of like not diva at all, but just sort of like a kind of an irritant. Like, I just don't think that's the vibe I'm getting from this Tennessee team. Like, they've been terrible for a couple years now. I think Cam Ward's trying to shake it up. I do not see his character being a problem. I see it as a huge asset for this team.
Van Jefferson, please catch the ball. Please. I mean, the best throw of the weekend was absolute laser to Van Jefferson. He just dropped it. Just come on, man.
That's funny because Cam Ward was 2 for 7 in his second preseason game. You might look at that box score and say, oh, he struggled. He had 3 of the nicest plays you're going to see. And he did get a ton of yards. His arm is really good.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Like, I don't remember that at Washington State, for example. Like, we knew he was okay, but then something clicked with that dude.
Oh, he's in a good position now. See what he does with it when the games count. A couple of baseball notables from last night, including more long balls for the Yankees in Tampa. They're home away from home.
Volpe holds. Here's a pitch. Swing on, drive to left. Deep to left. Carry. Goodbye. Big G does it again. A 2-run homer for Giancarlo Stanton. And the Yankees have a 5-3 lead here in the 10th inning. The man is on fire.
Dave Sims, Yankees radio. Giancarlo Stanton.
Damn it.
Yeah, pinch hit 2-run homer in the top of the 10th. Austin Wells hit one in extras as well as the Yankees held off the Rays 6-4 at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Of course, their spring training home where the Rays are playing this year. So it's a 2-game sweep. 5 more home runs last night to go with the 9 they hit in the first game. So that's 14, tying a Major League record for the most homers in a 2-game series, previously held by, on their own at least, the 1999 Reds, which of course had current Yankees manager Aaron Boone both on the team and hitting one of those home runs for Cincinnati back in 99. So a lot of offense, a lot of home runs, and sort of the footnote in this game was rookie Cam Schlittler taking a perfect game into the 7th inning. So there's a lot going on there between the Yankees and the Rays last night in Tampa. So the Yankees have gotten hot here as they get set to host the Red Sox for a 4-game series beginning tonight in the Bronx. Those two teams currently holding down the first and second wild card spots in the American League.
A Red Sox-Yankee series that has some weight to it. Let's go,
It's been a while.
Are they actually going to play? I hate to do this and be Perloff with the weather. Are we all right with the weather?
Think so. I think this morning we've got rain. I believe it should be clearing out.
Got a hurricane headed this way.
5 straight wins for the Yankees. World Series back on.
God. Yeah, it looks like cloudy, but I'm not seeing much rain in the forecast.
Okay, great.
Hopefully they're able to get that one off the ground.
Don't scoff you.
I'm not accepting. Nobody can jump back on the. I live in New York, and everyone who jumped off the Yankees bandwagon, they're not allowed on. They treated them like they were the 1976 Bucks for 2 months, and now all of a sudden they're hot again. You're like, everything's fine.
No, you are the king of jumping on and off. I'm not accepting that out of you, out of all of us in the room right now. Not out of you, Perloff.
I saw so much. The Yankees are the worst team in the history of sports.
Well, they were playing like
Who said that?
They're playing like it's the craziest overreaction fan base of all 4 professional sports. Yeah, who said that? Let me get you some clips.
The worst team of all time?
I mean, come on. You did not see like this is a disaster everywhere.
Yeah, there are people frustrated that they continue to make the same mistakes and errors and flaws and shortcomings year after year after year.
Well, people just
which will be exposed against a good team in the postseason.
How darn long this baseball season
is.
It is
it's
very long.
So long.
Very long.
Fine message, wrong messenger. Manny's right. You cannot say anything about bandwagoning. You invented bandwagon jumping, basically.
No. But this about how you treat your own team. Like,
yes, you do that to your own team.
Like
the
Eagles
Phillies.
were cooked last year.
Eagles.
After Saquon dropped it.
76ers.
Come on, man. This is not
the Philadelphia Pride. I don't even know who else plays in Philly.
This is not a novel
Temple
concept.
basketball.
This cannot be a novel concept to the Philadelphian.
Wait. I've never been in on the Sixers. Like,
that's not true.
When did I ever think the Sixers were going to win anything? When Charles Barkley was here. Have I ever once said I think the 76ers are going to the NBA Finals?
You have talked so much junk to the Knicks fans around here. It's just...
Yeah, because I hate the Knicks, but as a Sixers fan, except when I'm sitting next to the owner.
Tell me how many times you've jumped on and off the Phillies bandwagon.
No. I'm consistently fine with whether the Phillies are gravy.
Nope.
That's not true.
It.
I mean, the Eagles last year, you jumped off the bandwagon for the Eagles last year. Very early. That happened.
No, I was intentionally hedging.
So there's that.
So I was intentionally hedging about 2 weeks ago when the Yankees were losing.
Yeah. I've got to get you a T-shirt. I'm an intentional hedger.
Last year at this time, Pete Pilati was sitting over there in May and said, I don't want to hear it. The Mets season is over. They won. And
I was a baby.
What?
That was a Pete
But I was a baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and every Mets fan, like, this is over. I just think that in New York, like, it's just hard to remember. Baseball has so many twists and turns, and we still have 50 more left.
Less than that. Man. But yeah, you're right. It's a long season. I would say the Met fans more tortured than the Yankee fans, so they're more quick to go negative, I think.
Yeah, but you cannot point at other people when you can say all of us baseball fans, because when things go bad for the Phillies, what do you say? Oh, Philadelphia's an Eagles town anyway. None of this even matters. That's your stock answer to all of it. So you can call it out, but you can't point it out because you do it too.
No, I do, but I always remember that baseball is unpredictable so much more than everybody else. Like everybody, all the baseball analysts who think they know what's happening coming in the postseason, you've seen it so many times. Like it is just such a up and down sport. It happens so fast.
That happens.
Baseball is a highway. I want to ride it all night long.
Yeah. I think I am the voice of reason in this room about baseball in particular.
Well,
I will stick to that.
Two things can be true here. Like we can cover the fact that the Yankees had this historic 2-game series for them. The fact that it's a big series against Boston as far as the wild card standings are concerned, but not have them hoisting the World Series trophy in October. You know,
no, their defense is too shaky to
both
ever
can
win.
be true.
Also, they played the Twins and the Rays. Let me see them play the Red Sox for doing that.
Okay, we got to go on that note. Thank you, CeeLo. Coming up, we will get to Notre Dame. Starting quarterback has been named. So what are the expectations for the Irish after they came up just short in the national championship game a year ago? It's Maggie and Perloff.
It's the New York Yankees, damn it.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Here I come, size 15, hitting the floor. People say, Joe, what store's got more? Boots so big, they need their own zip code. Every step I take is a pothole road. Now I'm a size 9, that's still no small feat. Got sneakers lined up like cars on the street. When I stomp down, the coffee mug shake. Even the ref and Dallas did a double take. They say you can tell a show by the size of the kicks. We're stomping loud while Pete pulls his tricks. Shoes to fill, yeah, we're kicking up dust. When we hit the street, the ground might just bust. But the control room is quiet, that's the real news thrill. 'Cause people are eating still, ain't showing up for the bill. Maggie called me once, said we're out of lace. I said you'll need a mile to wrap this base. But I'd trade these clompers just one day, you see, to find out where the heck Peopleati might be. I'm not a 15, but my 9 still kicks. And I'm here every day while Pete pulls his tricks. He's more MIA than a Bigfoot in snow. Only difference is, we actually show. Cinderella tried.
Well, the game was tight, the crowd was loud. The judge went down, ain't no cheers now. Flicks are strained, they said real low. Like a punch straight through my radio. Manny Rodriguez sitting third row with his judge jersey and his heart broke slow. He stood up once, then he sat back down. Poured that pain till he couldn't hear the sound. Now he's blackout drunk in a parking lot bar, talking to ghosts and cussing at the stars. Why'd you take my hero? What did he do? Whiskey on his lips, Yankee tears in his boots. Bartender said, son, it's just a game. But to Manny, it's blood running through his veins. So pour one more shot to leave on the line for the kid who lost hope when we lost 99. He played shortstop in a little league town. Swung like Judge, always dreaming big now. Had the poster, had the swing. Hell, he even rocked that pinky ring. But the Bronx felt cold when Judge went down. Manny just drifted to another round. Talking like Judge was a brother he knew, swearing he felt that pain too. Now he's blackout drunk in a parking lot bar, talking to ghosts and cussing at the stars. Why'd you take my hero? What did he do? Whiskey on his lips, Yankee tears at his boots. Bartender said, son, it's just a game. But to many, it's blood running through his veins. So pour one more shot and leave on the line for the kid who lost hope when we lost 99. He played shortstop in a little league town. Swung like Judge, always dreaming big now. Had the poster, had the swing. Hell, he even rocked that picky ring. But the Bronx felt cold when Judge went down. Man, he just drifted to another round. Talking like Judge was a brother he knew. Swearing he felt that pain too. Maybe tomorrow he'll find his way home. But
15
tonight,
seconds.
the pinstripe heart's alone, and the world just don't.
Break ends in 5 seconds.
We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.
Welcome back.
Let's get down to business.
Coming up at the top of the hour, Perloff and I will break down which week 0 and week 1 games we think will mean the most in college football.
Can't believe it's so close. That's awesome.
Amazing. One of those is going to be a game between Notre Dame and Miami. Very fun. Talking about nostalgia bomb. Give me a little Irish, a little Catholics convicts is always a fun throwback. But Notre Dame finally named their starter. CJ Carr gets the nod over Minchie. But Pearl, this really came down to it. And a lot of people who are in the college football sphere will tell you this really was surprising to a lot of people in and around the program, like associated with the program. The fact that Minchie didn't win it. Is this necessarily a good thing to be going into the season for Notre Dame, who came within an eyelash, really, of winning the national championship last year? They ended up coming back in that game and doing pretty well. Do you think this is good that they had to wait this long, and it actually was kind of controversial who they picked to be their starting QB?
You would think no, but remember last year when they were playing kind of more talented teams, arguably, in the playoffs, what was their strategy? Just run. And Jeremiah Love's still there. So I'm kind of thinking this is one team that can avoid having to use their quarterback in a kind of meaningful way. So I'm not panicking. You're right. You would immediately say it's a bad thing that it took him that long to win the job. But you know that Marcus Freeman just wants to run the ball and win with defense. So I'm not panicking at all because of this.
Yeah. I think people are underestimating what Riley Leonard really meant to that Notre Dame team.
He ran.
Well, yes, he did, but it was a steadying force. Every single weird noise that we make is forever immortalized because of Manny. He was a huge factor.
No, Riley Leonard was great. I'm a big fan. But when they went up against really good teams, what did they do? They ran him or they ran the running backs, and they do have a great running game. So you look at this quarterback situation, you can't be excited about CJ Carr, but are you comfortable fading Notre Dame despite the lofty ranking and a lot of, pretty good odds to make the playoffs, easy schedule, typical?
I think it would be a big, big disappointment if they're not obviously back in the college football playoff, but even winning games. Like this 12 teams, and it will be like this even if they expand, has always been set up so well for Notre Dame. I mean, it really is. And the fact of the matter is, like, they will always be a huge draw. I'm not saying they got in purely on their name, but they will always be a huge draw. And it's just this perfect path for them. Like, it's like the committee's just leaving a spot open for them every single year.
Yeah. When you get actually on the field here against Miami, I know Miami, quote unquote, fixed their defense, but I'm more scared of Miami's offense. And what's the best way to keep that offense off the field is to really try and be conservative and control the ball. So I think that's what Notre Dame wants to do. I do not expect to see CJ Carr tossing the ball all over the field, especially against Miami, because if Carson Beck is actually good, like, you're going to have to slow that game down.
888-710-4ISN if you'd like to weigh in on Notre Dame. How about this? Brian in North Carolina, AKA, Delta 9 from the YouTube chat.
All right.
Delta, what's up, man?
Hey, it's a beautiful day here in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. I'm working from home today because of that hurricane, but it's really not that bad out right now. But since I'm home, I figured I could call in and ask you how my Panthers are going to do this season. Are we going to make the wild card? Do I have any hope, or should I buy like a lot of gummies to get me through NFL season?
Delta, for people who have thought, hey, maybe I'll check out the Maggie and Perloff YouTube chat or the Twitch chat, how would you describe the vibe in the chat?
It's a very friendly community of sports-minded people who love to just rag on each other and rag on
and rag on us. Yeah, most importantly, Brian. You're the best. It's a surprisingly stoned crowd for the time of day.
Yeah. Well, what did we call weirdos and coffee drinkers?
Yeah, always.
Can we incorporate gummies in that title? By the way, and Brian probably won't like this, I was all ready to do Panthers are going to win the NFC South. Then I watched the preseason, and then I know it's just preseason. I've been saying that, but oh, man, it looked rough. So I can't go to the wild card yet with the Panthers.
I think that Bryce Young is going to end the season as a top 15 quarterback.
So you get them in the playoffs?
I still think Tampa's going to be in this year, but the Panthers are coming. How about that?
Top 15 is some pretty good names.
But Baker Mayfield, I think, is top 10. So, but on the right track for sure. How about that? Delta from the chat making an appearance. YouTube.com/Infinity Sportsnet.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Sitting in my room, scrolling through the tube, watching Maggie and Perloff, getting in the groove. Found a viewer in the chat, his name's Delta, not Brian. Spitting fire comments, he's the #1 fan. Got his fingers moving, something non-stop. Dropping all the knowledge, never gonna flop. Talking about Ryan, he's the king of the chat. With his love for the show, there ain't no doubt. Every episode, he's always in the mix. Leaving comments for the host, he's got the tricks. Talking about Ryan, he's a YouTube star. With his quick comments, he'll take it far. Maggie and Perloff, getting in the groove. Found a viewer in the chat, his name's Delta, not Brian. Spitting fire comments, he's the #1 fan. Every episode, he's always in the mix. Leaving comments for the host, he's got the tricks. Delta, not Brian, he's a YouTube star. With his quick comments, he'll sitting in my room, scrolling through the tube, watching Maggie and Perloff.
3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Officially in countdown mode, college football. It's here, Pearl. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Week 0 upon us. It's already Thursday, so we get that Saturday afternoon, a little Iowa State, Kansas State, 2 ranked teams, 2 Big 12 teams that we have both said would be disappointing if they don't make it to the championship game, along with half of the conference. But if I gave you an option, which of the week 0, and let's include week 1 college football games, which ones do you think will actually mean something in terms of the outcome or in terms of the narrative, whatever you want to say? What's actually going to mean the most of this incredible slate of games? And actually, just for the audience quickly, I'll just go through. So you got the Iowa State, Kansas State. You have Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, FSU, LSU, Clemson, Notre Dame, Miami. Those are just a few of the really awesome matchups we have.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people will point to the Texas-Ohio State game, but to me, the most important game from a narrative standpoint is LSU at Clemson. It's just everything about this game is impactful for both programs. I haven't seen expectations around Clemson like this since Trevor Lawrence. This is the year. It all is sort of, all the pieces seem to be coming together for Clemson to make another kind of title run. So they have to prove it from the get-go against LSU, who's now all of a sudden got pressure. We know about their early struggles. We know Brian Kelly has not delivered on what some people thought. And the thing is, they have arguably the top 2 quarterbacks in football, in Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik. Like everything, it feels like everything is on the line here for both teams. And also, I think this could have an impact, especially for Clemson. Clemson probably needs this win because they're going to face a lighter ACC schedule. They want to point to a win over LSU come committee time in case they don't win the conference.
That's interesting. I think the pressure really is on LSU in this one. You know, Brian Kelly has not won an opener since he's been at LSU, the $100 million, all that stuff. And, you know, you mentioned before something on the show, if you win an MVP but you don't win a championship, like how that kind of turns against you.
I'm here with my family.
Like Brian Kelly now had Jaden Daniels, who won the Heisman and looks like he could be in the MVP conversation in the pros and like couldn't win anything, you know? So I think it's almost like turns on you a little bit. And I think Brian Kelly is almost gets too bad of a rap at times. Like he won the, went to the SEC championship game, beat Alabama's first year at LSU. Like there have been some high points, but it feels to me like he is way more under the microscope than Dabo is.
No, Ray Charles can see that, brother.
Yeah, but if LSU loses this game and then they have a good SEC year, don't you think the committee would say you were underdogs, you were on the road, it's a hard place to play, Clemson, the Rock and all that. Don't you think the committee would forgive that loss?
They probably will, but I think it would be, what does it foreshadow? Like, can you expect to have a really good SEC year if you go to Clemson? Let's say you lose by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, even 2 touchdowns, yes. If you lose to the number 4 team in the country at home on opening night, yeah, I definitely think you can. I mean, we've seen LSU kind of come back from these slow starts before and be more of a factor. No, I don't think this would be a death knell for LSU if they lost this at all. For Clemson, it would be bad.
Yeah, not death knell, but I think it would get a negativity rolling. And the other thing about LSU, we're talking about this week 1 game, LSU going to Clemson, the other Death Valley. They're treating this game now because Brian Kelly has not won an opener at LSU, and they've taken on some big names. So it's not they weren't doing Little Sisters of the Poor as the openers, Florida State, USC, etc. But they're treating this like it's their Super Bowl, right? They're treating it like the national championship game. So to go in and lose, I think would be like a tough to get yourself off the mat.
But I kind of disagree because it's on the road. I think there's this idea that Clemson's inevitable. I mean, they're ranked higher, and it's in Clemson.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're going to kill him. I mean, really, the real test for LSU will come in their SEC schedule. You know, it's funny you said Brian Kelly had Jaden Daniels. I'm like, Brian Kelly had Jaden Daniels. For some reason, like I've never connected the two of those people at all. Like, has Jaden Daniels ever said, man, Brian Kelly, I think of him more as, didn't Herm Edwards recruit him at Arizona State? It didn't feel like, because Brian Kelly was early on in his stay there, and we had no expectation for that team. We didn't know Jaden Daniels was good. It didn't feel like a letdown. No one came into that season and says, well, Brian Kelly has Jaden Daniels. He better win the title.
No, it's in hindsight.
Yeah, it's in hindsight. But this year, they both, he has Garrett Nussmeier, who will be a first-round pick going to get, so there is a lot of pressure. But I think Clemson, this team has we saw the all-ACC team, right, Maggie? It was all Tigers.
That's true.
11 out of 22 spots were filled by Tigers. So there's a lot of pressure there as well.
If you're asking me, like, what is going to be the most impactful game, I hate to do the chalky thing here, but it's Texas and Ohio State, but even more specifically, it's Arch Manning. Arch Manning is the story of this college football season until someone comes and takes that from him, or he probably doesn't even want it. But Texas is ranked number 1, both polls. Arch was probably the deciding factor in how they even got that high, because you can poke holes here and there on some of their roster stuff. They obviously graduated a lot of guys to the pros. This is all about Arch. And if he comes out in this really tough spot to go to Ohio State as the reigning national champions, the crowd's going to be unbelievable. And if he lays an egg, if he throws 4 picks or it turns into disaster, this is going to be the biggest story tenfold. Flip side, if he looks amazing, let's say he goes out there and he looks like what we all expect, this generational 5-star talent, and let's say he really battles Ohio State and they pull off a win, then again, it's a rocket ship of a story. I just think until the Arch is a story no matter what. So to me, this is by far the biggest game of the first 2 weeks.
Couple things I slightly disagree with. You don't think Texas would have been number 1 with another quarterback? I mean, they've been in the Final Four with Quinn Ewers. I think a lot of these I think Texas, and first of all, they brought in a lot of talent. Like, they're talented. I'm not sure that's an Arch effect, because how low would they been 3 with another quarterback? They just got Quinn Ewers is not great, and he just led them to the brink of a title 2 years in a row. I don't think
never been ranked number 1 before ever in preseason polls, and something changed because they made it to the Final Four. No,
well,
it would have been Ohio State.
But Texas had never made back-to-back playoffs.
I know, but who's even on the team from 2 years ago, right?
I'm just saying, but generally, they have a machine rolling. There's a lot of NFL talent on that team. I'm not sure. And the reason Ohio State clearly would be number 1, but we know nothing about their quarterback. I mean, so that's a funny thing. Like, talking about unknown, Ohio State. And also, I don't think Arch is going to struggle. I don't think that's even a possibility. First of all, he can use his legs as an escape hatch. And Ohio State lost all those defensive players. So I think, I'm very curious, too. I mean, to me, Arch, I feel like Arch is already a known. Julian saying, any clue what's going to happen there, Meg?
I mean, is Arch really a known? He started 2 games against, not amazing competition.
Thrown a lot more college passes than Julian saying.
Yeah, well, that's true, but most people have. It's funny. I don't actually associate the Mannings with, big starts, In fact, the other way, Peyton Manning's first year in the NFL was not great. Eli Manning, first playoff game, threw 3 interceptions. These are some of the things that are kind of going through my head. He's not immune, that he could have a subpar game. It's possible.
I can't imagine a Steve Sarkisian quarterback having too much problems. Like it doesn't really happen much.
Well, the first year he was there, what didn't they go 7-5? I mean,
just saying, like his offense is very quarterback friendly. It's just a terrible. I don't know who you describe, like just an awful disaster. It's just not likely. I mean, look at what he did. Brief time at Alabama, even when he was struggling, like his quarterback still did well. It's just it's a kind of the offense. It's a low bar. I think he's going to be fine.
We'll see, but I think that's the number one thing to look at, without a doubt, is not just Texas, Ohio State, but literally Arch Manning, the biggest story in college football. Perloff thinks LSU Clemson, specifically from the Clemson side, because they could need this win to sort of keep them in the top, ranked in the top 5 through the rest of the season or what have you.
Oh, if Clemson loses this game, then
how
it's
far
just
do they
like,
fall?
Oh man, it's going to be all that hype is just going to go away in a second.
Let's go to the phones. 888-710-4ISN. Jim's in South Carolina wants to talk about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who will start their season against Miami. What's up, Jim?
Yeah, hey, good morning. Nothing better than Catholics versus convicts.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to take exception to a couple of things both of you said. First of all, thank you for making me sit through that dialogue about Brian Kelly. We're trying to forget him up in South Bend, so that was a little bit of a punishment. But anyway, I forgive you for that. But a couple of exceptions. Number one, there's nothing really controversial about the pick that Freeman and Denbrock made. Yes, there was heavy competition, and yes, there's some feelings on both sides, maybe of the fan base, but I'm just going to tell you right now, controversy, there's no controversy. These two quarterbacks are both going to play this year. And when it comes to what Perloff, you said about that Notre Dame has to run the ball, they had to run the ball last year. And smartly enough, they did what, they danced with the one that brung them. And this year, both C.J. Carr and Minchie are gunslingers. They can throw the ball. And so with the combination you've got with the running backs, just a room full of running back ability, and then the ability of C.J. Carr to throw the ball down the field, I don't think they're going to be afraid to throw it, and I don't think they're going to be afraid with one of the top in the nation to stop Carson Beck.
Wait, Jim, don't you think Marcus Freeman wants to run the ball regardless of who the quarterback is? I feel like he's one of those guys you're going to have to drag into a high-octane offense.
No. I think he has done and has chosen to do and has brought control out of that. What they could only do really for the past couple of years, because we've not had a true throwing quarterback for years. And I don't think Marcus Freeman is afraid of a high octane offense. I just don't think we as Notre Dame and Notre Dame fans have seen it, because we just not had the players to do it.
Jim, thank you for the call and for and the scouting report on Carr and Minchie. Definitely Carr with the better arm, Minchie with a little better scrambling ability was kind of like the easy sort of breakdown of the two guys. But, it's funny, Pearl, because you're mentioning, do you think Marcus Freeman wants to have this sort of high-octane offense? They're the ones who brought Riley Leonard from the transfer portal. Like, we saw what he was at Duke. He is a running quarterback. So, in some ways, they kind of chose what they wanted there.
It's funny. He actually could pass the ball a little at Duke. I look at his passing numbers, how far they went down. And they have Jeremiah Love. Like, he's if Arch is a story, Jeremiah Love's a top 5 story. I think he's going to run for 2,000 yards here. Like, he's going to be awesome.
I also wonder about both quarterbacks playing. Like we've seen this before with Notre Dame. Like they're and a lot of times in college, is it possible that C.J. Carr, no matter what they say, is the quarterback for now?
Yeah. No, all the reporters are saying both are going to play. Which like I'm thinking, of course, the great example was Chris Leak and Tim Tebow. You could do that in college football. It seems like Michigan's been doing it a lot. Like I don't even remember who was playing last. Yeah, you could definitely do that. That's not a death knell for a team like Notre Dame.
EJ, what's the most impactful week one? Are you going to say Miami because you're a homer, or is there another game out there?
I think that's
Miami Notre Dame.
I think that's the biggest game. I think because we're going to learn the most. I think from that game. Like I think Texas, Ohio State, those are two elite teams. I think whoever loses is probably fine. We may learn a lot about LSU, but I think Clemson is going to be great regardless, even if they drop that game. But the game I think that is actually the most intriguing to me is actually Alabama, Florida State. Thomas Castellanos will not stop talking.
Yeah.
Yesterday, again, saying that, asked by Alabama's defense, he said, well, the best defense I've seen is, this Florida State defense that I work with in practice. And the Alabama fans are taking note. Like, that clip got around real fast. And Florida State coming off one of the worst years literally ever after having one of their best years ever. And Alabama trying to right the ship. I want to know what these teams are. 'Cause I don't know if I have a great idea. Like, Alabama's defense is insane in terms of the amount of 5 stars and guys on it. And, of course, you have Ryan Williams. But, like, what is their offense exactly now that Grubb is there? And is Florida State, are they a thing? Like, are we just expected to see them win 2-3 games every year? Or can they go back to being what the team were last year? They got a lot of transfers. They're one of those teams where sometimes it's good to just – when guys move on, sometimes it's a good thing. You say, oh, we've lost 5 starters. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes you need to just kind of clean house. That's kind of their deal. So I'm wondering if maybe these new guys that are in will actually kind of reset the culture there.
You can tell us, what do you think is the biggest week 1 and week 0 game in college football? Kicks off with Iowa State, Kansas State from Dublin. Got a little Texas, Ohio State, of course, Alabama, FSU, as EJ just lined out. LSU, Clemson, Notre Dame, Miami, just to name a few.
Did anyone see the picture of Thomas Castellanos standing next to a taller person this week? It went viral.
No.
He is tiny.
He's diminutive, and it's like it's crazy that like they wanted him just because of like how he played against them.
I know.
It's funny. We're doing tomorrow. We're going to pick our 12 teams and who we think is going to win the national title. And I was obviously thinking, like, why not FSU? Why not? And there's something about the Thomas Castellanos, who I actually do like him, but why he literally left the school last year. BC lost his starting job and then just like up and left.
Yeah. That seems like a weird deal, though.
It's a weird situation there.
It felt more like some of that felt like Bill O'Brien being Bill O'Brien too.
Well,
though.
he's
because he completely threw him under the bus in a way that I really didn't love, to be honest. And like Castellanos' numbers are not like outstanding, but they weren't terrible. And like it's BC, like I don't know what he really expected. And then I kind of thought, okay, you switch the quarterbacks, maybe BC will have this resurgence with a new guy. It kind of didn't happen.
Yeah.
So maybe Castellanos isn't as bad as maybe O'Brien was making him out to be.
Hey, how's the guy he's taking over for, DJU? How's he doing in NFL camp? I haven't heard anything about him. He might be hurt.
Is he still on the team?
He's a Charger, right?
Yeah, but did he make the team, or is he gonna make the team? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
People are getting cut. Yeah, there are definitely people who've been cut already.
But that's a funny, because DJU is gigantic. So you're going to go from big DJU to tiny Thomas Castellanos. You were actually thinking Florida State is a potential champion?
Now, spoiler, I did not end up putting them in my final 12. I have I have one ACC program making it.
But Florida State's not even ranked, though. I mean, that's a stretch. Yeah, but then again, I guess when nobody saw them a couple of years ago, that felt like such a one-off that one year, the year they didn't make it.
Well, they had all these transfers, right? You had a quarterback in Jordan Travis who was there for like 6 years, and then Fisk and the other Verse were transfers.
Yeah, but even
wait, what felt like the one-off? The undefeated season or the 2-win season?
The undefeated season, because like even Jordan Travis, like he didn't seem like he was going to be that elite either. Like, yeah, it did feel like Florida State does not feel like anything like the old Florida State to me. Like, they're not a team that we've talked about as a national title contender in a long, long time. And I don't think we were talking about them the year before the undefeated season. I look at their preseason rank. I don't know. Like, I'm old enough to remember when Florida State was, like, every year it was on. But it seems like way too long ago.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. But they have won a national championship in this millennium.
Oh, yeah, the Jameis year. You're right.
Yeah. Jimbo.
Green beans. My favorite platypus of all time is Perry the platypus.
Jameis and Jimbo being the team that won a national championship, given how we think of those guys today, is very fascinating.
My middle name is Leonard. Like Leonard.
Jameis was the Heisman #1 pick, and he's like trying to make the Giants, and then Jimbo, like no one wants to give him a job.
Sweet potato.
So funny. All right, coming up, you're welcome to weigh in on college football, the week 0, week 1 matchup you're looking forward to the most. Also, one day late, but I have my 5 things that I learned from Hard Knocks episode 3 about your Buffalo Bills.
Go Bills.
Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This portion of the show is sponsored by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event going on now. Get deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Don't miss out. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. All right, Maggie, Hard Knocks. What episode are we into? Is this three? Three are done? 3 are down. How you feeling?
Not great. Not great.
What? It's fun. It's Hard Knocks.
It doesn't feel like it's that fun. Anyway, I've been doing this for every episode, so I guess I got to keep doing it. The 5 moments from episode 3 of Hard Knocks. Here we go. Number 5. So James Cook in this episode finally signs his extension, Pearl. And, they call him Jimbo, James Cook. He's just kind of an aloof dude, and we get that. And, as long as he performs on the field, honestly, who cares what he's really like off the field, right? You'd agree?
Oh, totally.
As long as you're like an upstanding citizen, which he is.
Yeah, as long as you're not breaking laws.
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course. Who cares?
Totally fine.
It's a running back.
Yeah. He comes in to sign this contract the day after it happens, and either my man was partying the night before or something was happening that morning because he looked blitzed. I mean, it was a tough look. Maybe he was just super tired. Maybe that's just him. But somebody very smartly put a pair of sunglasses on him when they actually took a photo of him signing the contract. So that's what went out on social media. But, he was looking like he was just in outer space. And I don't know. Then he was fine at practice.
Preemptively celebrate signing the contract?
He may have.
Hey, you know what? I can understand that. I'm not going to hold that against Jimbo.
All right, Jimbo. Hang on to the ball. Okay. Number 4. Things I learned from Hard Knocks season episode 3. It is just so obvious and apparent how much everyone got paid on this team. And in theory, this is a great thing. You draft your guys, you develop your guys, you pay your guys, right? This is how you should want to build a team. But every single person on the Bills got paid. And it is like you're hoping that they still have the same motivation and hunger. And these guys are just so freaking rich right now, which is great for them. Ed Oliver has 30 horses.
Is that?
Yeah,
I saw that.
So many horses, making Ty Johnson shovel horse poop. I didn't know Ty Johnson should have not gotten that assignment in his fancy boots.
Are they all driving nice whips too?
Oh, well, I mean, they're professional athletes.
Nicest houses and nicest cars in Western New York. I've always said that.
Yeah, which is.
I was going to wonder, do they save money on real estate so they can afford to buy horses and cars?
It's like the horses. Deion Dawkins has got the drift cars. Josh Allen, with the movie star. AJ Epinesa likes to handle exotic snakes. First of all, can this team get some regular hobbies? And then 2, just everyone got paid. So I hope they have the same hunger and motivation. We know Josh Allen's fine. He deserves all the movie stars in the world. But
To be fair, though, that might be the 37th NFL player to have snakes on Hard Knocks. I mean, there's always some form of reptile or some kind of cage or something.
I feel bad for these horses that have to carry Ed Oliver around. I mean, he's going fast on these horses. He's
thick
huge.
dude. Yeah,
I know.
a thick man. Girthy.
I'm sorry, I keep on inserting there's a big thing about tropical fish and Jimmy Johnson and Troy Aikman in the Cowboys thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I think NFL players like these things. Like a lot of them have big tropical fish things.
Oh, yeah. No,
that's fine. That doesn't mean, I'm saying, don't panic just because the guy's got a snake and a horse or 2. I mean, there was a tip.
A horse 30. Or 30.
Remember, Devin White was riding his horse around like it was an Uber.
Yeah, what happened to that guy?
He was a bust, but he landed somewhere else, right?
Yeah, he's still in the league, but not with the Bucks. Okay. What is that? What are we up to? Number 3. 3 on the list. So we had yet to really see or hear from Dalton Kincaid, okay, who was the first-round draft pick of the Bills a couple years ago as a tight end. So the last we saw of him was him dropping a pass against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Oof.
That was a tough pass, though. History is remembering that wrong. That was tough.
Get it together, Josh.
Yeah, he's not the problem. But okay, we haven't really seen much of Dalton Kincaid. We finally see him, okay? And he's on the sideline, and he's talking about looking up in the sky and seeing a bird and wanting to be a bird that can fly away. Dude, I know training camp is tough, but you want to be a bird that flies away? How about,
I mean, Maggie, you're not
getting ready for the season.
I think this is saying a lot more about Maggie than the Bills.
Oh, I know this is skewed so negative.
Yeah, you can take any little detail about the Bills and think about this. You are hardwired to think about this is the reason we're going to lose.
I mean, her running back forgot his helmet in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Thank you, EJ. Number 2 on the 5 things I learned from episode 3 of Hard Knocks. Ed Oliver just getting worked by Joe Thuney. If I never see Joe Thuney again, he started in New England, then went to Kansas City. This dude's been in my life way too long. And Ed Oliver, they're doing the joint practices against Chicago. He cannot get by this guy. And he says after, he's like, man, you are so and he says sneaky athletic, and I think realizes what a diss that actually is. Worked. worked by Joe Tootie. That's number 2. Number 1. One thing I learned. So you know how Perloff teams try to do things to like lighten the mood? You know, everyone brings in Oz, the mentalist or whatever.
Go Bills. Yeah.
Oz, whatever his name is. And you try to bring in like different types of people, maybe loosen guys up a little bit. Well, the Bills are just like every other team in that respect. They're in the hotel room in Chicago before the game against the Bears, and they bring in some dude to do some improv class.
Coach, go ahead and give me that action. All right, here we go. I want y'all to say bibbity, bibbity, bop. 1, 2, 3, bibbity, bibbity, bop. That's what I'm talking about. 4 levels. First level, if I point to you and I say bibbity, bibbity, bop, you got to say bop before I get to the end of my bop. Here we go.
Bibbity bop this. They lost 38-0 the next day. And I know it was a preseason game and most of the guys weren't playing who are starters, but they bibbity bopped themselves into oblivion. So get the improv out of here. I don't even know what that was for. Whatever.
You got to say bop.
Bless Josh Allen for taking that seriously and being a team player.
Bibbity, bibbity, bop.
Bibbity, bibbity, bop me over the head so I don't have to watch Hard Knocks anymore with this team. I hate it. But it has made me, I've already have a much respect for Josh Allen. I respect him even more. He just is the whole program. He's the whole team. He's the whole franchise.
Dude's a stud.
Yep. He goes as they go as he goes.
So when they lost 33-6 in the preseason last year, panic to the Bears and Caleb Williams?
No, I didn't care about that.
No, of course. It's preseason. Get out of here. All these little details you're bringing up are concerned. You need a football therapist, Maggie.
Go Bills.
You need some help.
I have a real therapist, but she doesn't know much about football. It's
well,
probably
she better learn because you are just finding 5 negative things out of Hard Knocks. What is the matter with you?
Did you watch the episode? What's the positive?
But what is the positive?
Bibbity bop. They all look like
Josh Allen. I honestly,
Josh Allen is the best.
All 5 of those were negative, right?
Yes.
The fact that Ed Oliver has horses means that you're going to lose to the Chiefs in the AFC title game?
Yeah.
Like, is there
work by Joe Tootie
it's almost like you could pick any fact. It's like, they have chicken at the lunch line, and chicken's a nervous animal. I feel like you are finding excuses to be down on your Bills.
High in protein, though.
I'm just saying.
That Joe Tootie outworked Ed Oliver to practice on Hard Knocks? Come on.
Thick man. Girthy.
Watch the episode.
I'm not watching the episode because it's 2025. And I can watch.
You're too busy with Jerry Jones's.
I can watch some form of Hard Knocks everywhere. I did watch the first episode. Maybe I will get to it. You know what? I need like Manny's Giants in the preseason. Give me some controversy here. It's been a little positive. Even though you're finding negative, I think genuinely it's been reviewed as a little over positive.
Yeah, there's just been not a lot of intensity, which is whatever. It's fine. It's Hard Knocks.
This is curated, right? This is not like what's actually happening. What is up with that?
Yeah, and I feel like the lack of intensity is actually coming through. So.
Oh, well, I think you're. No, it's curious. Like, that's not. Like, they're picking little clips here. That's not reality of what's happening there at Bills camp.
It's Sean McDermott telling them the standard's not high enough. I mean, that really happened in meetings and stuff. So, listen, am I being a little negative here? Sure. I thought the bibbity bop stuff was kind of dumb.
So, do they wrap up the AFC East by week 6, week 7 this year? Or is it going to be it gets earlier and earlier every year that their playoff spot is secured?
Hey, not so fast. You see the Jets going hardcore.
Oh, yeah. Look at that eyewash.
Players only practice, baby. Justin Fields being a real leader, being like, we don't need assistant coaches. Show up at the facility, 9 a.m. Saturday. We're going to run our own plays.
So that's what the Jets did. You heard about this. They ran a players-only practice.
No, I did not.
Except Aaron Glenn was there, the head coach.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, well, you need somebody to supervise it. But.
Okay. So it's not a players-only. And if I'm an assistant coach, I am really, I'm offended.
Would you be offended, CeeLo?
Why?
Because you're basically saying that the assistant coaches are the problem because the head coach was there. If it was just the players, they got together at Hills High School and decided to do this or something like that, I'd be like, man, this is cool. But Aaron Glenn was there.
Well, no, I think they wanted them there to show so that they could say, hey, listen, we're talking about trying to be invested. Yeah. Look at how invested we are.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you how much I'm doing this thing that I'm trying to do under the radar or whatever.
You got to say bop.
Listen, I think the Jets and Bills are going to split this year, so I have a healthy respect for the Jets, but not
really?
Respect really for like the front office and the ownership.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound real.
But they've always played the Bills tough. It's a division opponent.
There's
but I thought this felt very much like let us show you how hard we're working here.
We didn't learn about it till yesterday. Clearly they weren't trying to let it get out. Right, I'm saying that's a long time. Like that's a long in today's age. Like stuff gets out. Someone gets a phone out and says, "Look what we're doing." Like they like this got out 3 days later. They had practices since then. I think this was. To me, I feel like some Clubber Lang vibes. Like they're doing bibbity bop over there in Buffalo, and Justin Fields is getting the guys up early to practice on an off day.
Dead meat. I feel like the national perspective on Jets is like always. I think it's changed a lot. I think now that people think they're in for the number one pick. Like, because Justin Fields can't hit the ocean.
Yeah, I was going to say they need the practice on offense.
Yeah, well, they better not throw that ball. They better just run.
Well, that's their plan, but guess what? Every defense that they face is going to know that. So
the other part, I love how the Jets were able to keep a secret for 4 days. Meanwhile, a bullet nearly hit Andy Reid a year ago.
That's incredible.
We have had no idea until yesterday.
Last night, yeah. Wild.
Great, still a crazy story. Thank God he's okay. That would have been so awful. And they've got no leads. They've got no leads.
No arrests, and it didn't appear to be a targeted attack, says the police spokesperson. So what the hell was it then?
Had random
some
bullets
drunk
fly
person,
around the city?
Some drunk guy just decided to open fire on the Chiefs practice facility at midnight?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think probably.
But this can't be a mastermind. Then how come they can't find the guy? If it's just some random thing, right? Wouldn't he be on tape somewhere?
Well, I think it's a random because how would that person know what Andy Reid's office was? So that's not going to be like head coach office.
No, I'm thinking it was like an office. It was after midnight, right? On a weekday. Maybe there was one light on.
So you think it was someone who knew Andy Reid and wanted to kill Andy?
I think it's a crazy person, obviously.
No, I don't think so. I think it was a random shot was fired.
Okay, even they say not targeted at one individual. It also said organization. So this person just randomly stumbled upon the Chiefs practice facility?
Again, it's in a very isolated area.
So
next to the stadium.
Would suggest even more that it's not.
I don't know. I feel like random bullets fly around. Sometimes they're, it's
Definitely.
terrible.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Pearl actually because I don't know how many stories I've done where it's like person in their apartment and random stray bullet just flies through.
Well, apartment,
those are
sure,
terrible.
but I don't know.
Anyway, thank goodness he's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Bulletproof glass now. I'll do it.
And apparently his office is like in a second floor window as well. So, I mean.
Second floor, yes. Because there was another bullet that hit a floor above, and then the third one hit an air conditioning unit, apparently.
Oh, I'm sorry. There were 3 bullets?
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what the story said. Yeah. I'm trying to get like a.
But if it's an isolated area, maybe someone was just practicing with their new gun.
Yeah, there's nothing around.
That person should definitely be arrested. You can't practice with your new gun out in the middle. There's shooting ranges for that, no?
It's adjacent to the parking lot of the stadium. I mean, there's a road there, obviously, and they have a parking lot at the practice facility, but I'm not seeing any other buildings nearby.
It's not like there's a bunch of bars around and, it's just 3 guys. Let's go shoot our guns.
Well, I feel like Missouri, it's Kansas City. There's got to be some open barbecue joint they can go to instead of doing this crap.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I'd be living in barbecue sauce if I was them.
I don't know. If it's isolated, maybe they thought no one was there, and they're just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool to fire the gun at toward Arrowhead? I know it's not in Arrowhead, but it feels like isolated means like guys didn't think they were hitting anybody. I mean, would you know Andy Reid was going to be in there past midnight?
Hell
no. The guy's 67. He's still coaching past midnight. Let's go.
In May, no less. Early May.
Yeah. Like, I feel like.
That's like a couple days after
early May
draft week.
It
was May 4th, 2024. That's a couple days after the draft, right?
Yeah.
Listen, they lost the Super Bowl last year. They got their butts kicked. You got to be grinding double the
but
tape.
this was
the year before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When they were off the championship.
Oh yeah, they're going for a 3-peat.
Yeah,
you got to be grinding tape.
See, this is the NFL culture. Like Tom Brady when he was getting after Wayne Rooney because he was like, you don't get in till 7, 8 a.m.
Yeah, but
he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, half the day's over by then.
Dungy famously sent everyone home at 6:00 and won a Super Bowl. Doesn't have to be that way. And I don't. That's a question. Was Belichick staying there till 2 a.m. in his 70s? I think he was elsewhere. I think he was in the bars.
Although now that we know a little more about Belichick, clearly he was.
I think he was
hanging out with Miss May.
A little busy, though.
Casting aspersions over there.
I mean, honestly, like how many plays can
we
you
all
actually?
saw the ring camera.
I mean,
but when did that relation? That was at the tail end of his time with the Pats. I mean, the guy usually would show up to his press conferences looking disheveled, like he hadn't showered in days.
How many plays can you actually scheme up for Bailey Zappi, though? I think he ran out. It was like 10:00. He's like, I'm done. There's nothing else to do here.
I've hit the bottom.
Yeah.
CeeLo, you want to hang with us?
It's your show. Whatever you think is best.
Music to our ears. Hang with us for a second. We'll get all the latest with you and a lot more to do. Maggie and Perloff show. We're back in just moments.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff show. Okay, Chris LoPresti hanging with us. We got a little sidetracked in the last segment. But
Love to get sidetracked.
I know.
That's the best stuff.
That's
You know?
our show for you.
Yeah.
One big rundown of stuff we meant to get to.
All good.
You have headlines for us, though.
Sure. We got some stuff for you. A couple of NFL injury updates over the course of the last hour or so. So you got Adam Schefter reporting the Bucs plan to activate wideout Chris Godwin from the PUP list to carry him on their initial roster to begin the season, but he's only beginning to ramp himself up. He'll definitely miss some early games. He's unlikely to play until October as he continues his recovery from the fractured ankle he suffered week 7 of last season. Also, you guys opened the show with the 49ers today, already thin at wide receiver. You got Brandon Ayuk still rehabbing. Demarcus Robinson's got this 3-game suspension that's expected, which is why they acquired Sky Moore from the Chiefs. And then you've got Russell Gage, who is being counted on to fill in for some of these guys. He's dealing with a sprained MCL that's expected to cost him 7 to 10 days. So another short-term knock on the Niners depth chart.
By the way, on the Godwin injury,
yeah,
stay out. Because I'm investing everything I can in a Emeka Egbuka fantasy stock. Oh, my God. Have you guys seen the highlights of this kid? Like, Chris Godwin's an afterthought. The truth has arrived in Tampa Bay. And fantasy football people are, like, lining up to try and get him because of that Godwin injury that you just said.
Somebody noted, maybe it was Mike Tannenbaum this morning. They were like, when Godwin comes back with Egbuka, say it for me.
Egbuka.
Yeah. No, I had trouble, too.
Jeez, God. Yeah. They said outside of the
That's a
Bengals. Yeah, sorry. Plus with the bad voice, too. That's just a nightmare. Outside of the Bengals, they said probably the deepest wide receiver core in the league.
Well, also, Maggie said earlier in the show that Baker Mayfield's probably about a top 10 quarterback. Like, he can get the ball to all these guys. Like, Buka's got star written all over him. He fell to 19.
We'll just leave the G out. Just Ibuka. We'll go with that. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is the G silent?
I don't know.
Okay. It flows easier, so let's go with that. All right, we were talking a little bit about where you guys were about the Jets and Justin Fields and this impromptu players practice in that last segment there.
Yeah.
So I actually had this lined up, a lot of questions about the offense already because Fields has taken over and it's been a little underwhelming through a couple of preseason games, limited snaps, all that. Here was Aaron Glenn, of course, first year as head coach, talking media, fans, living and dying with every throw here in the month of August.
Then everything is falling down because we throw 6 passes. You know, then I mean, he's Johnny Unitas when we throw 4 passes. It bothers me, and I laugh at it quite a bit. But the thing is, I understand it because that's the noise that happens on the outside. That's how guys can't really listen to.
Now, he said it bothers him, so he might need to take some of his own advice there in terms of tuning out the noise, though, of course, it's a little different as far as the players focusing versus the coaching staff dealing with all the media and the noise and the stories and the headlines.
You know, I didn't realize it, but the Jets going to have a tough schedule here to start off. You're Pittsburgh, although I think they're going to win that game. But Pittsburgh.
You think the Jets are going to win
I
against
actually
Pittsburgh?
do.
Mm-hmm. That's a home game, right?
It's a home game.
Jets were practicing with crowd noise this week, which doesn't bode well for week 1.
the Steelers.
Oh,
They're
that's
traveling. Yeah, probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Buffalo. Those are home games, though. But then at Tampa, at Miami, always tough early in the year because it's so hot down there. Guys are just not used to it. Then Dallas, then Denver in Europe, then Carolina, and then at Cincinnati.
Let's go! It's not impossible. I hear what you're saying.
You winning 3 games there?
In New York, a lot of focus has been on the Giants schedule, which is very tough.
That's very hard also.
But to your point, this is not exactly a cupcake schedule they've got here either.
Giants starting the season off 2-0, by the way. Mark it down.
Okay.
I mean, if you got the...
You better hope not. If they start 0-2, then you might actually see Jackson Dart.
You got the Dolphins, Cowboys, Panthers. I mean, they're on the bottom. You know, those are all teams that aren't predicted to have winning seasons. Like, you're going to have to beat teams like that.
You really think Aaron Rodgers in his Steelers debut isn't going to come in and light? I mean, if you know the Jets.
No.
You know that.
They beat him last time when they played in week 1.
I understand. But if you know Jets lore and history, it suggests that Rodgers is going to come in there and have a field day.
I said they beat him. He was a Jet. I'm sorry, but they won the game.
Right. I didn't want to point that out.
Jets typically very good in home openers.
They're fine at the beginning of the year. You know what else? And I'm not wishing it. I'm going to knock on wood here. I promise I'm not a Rodgers hater. He's given our show many gifts. Worry about him on that turf.
Don't be a freaking weirdo.
Another Achilles?
No, but just MetLife. That turf is
that
awful.
particular turf, not just turf in general. Good point.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they've changed it out and it hasn't seemed to matter or help.
Yeah, right.
They put in a brand new turf. I think it was last year. Within the last 2 years, for sure.
But aren't they putting in real grass for the World Cup?
Mm-hmm. Any soccer event, pretty much, that they get in there, they bring in the natural grass.
And then they take it out.
Yeah.
They can't maintain it, I guess, all season long is apparently the deal.
Somehow in Arizona they maintain it.
Well, they've got that tray that rolls in and out in Arizona.
That was not easy. Remember, there were all the people that were worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you the game to circle for the Jets. December 21st, Week 16 at New Orleans.
That's in a while.
Yeah. Why are we circling that?
I mean, why do you think we're circling that?
Because that's a
Arch Manning sweepstakes.
Ah, okay. I was gonna
or
say,
somebody's
where
sweepstakes.
are we going with
First
that?
win.
I mean,
first win of the season sweepstakes.
Because they don't seem to me to committed to Justin Fields at all.
Well, no. I mean, they guaranteed him. It's 2 years, and his money's guaranteed. I think it's fully guaranteed contract, but it could be backup money next year if they get somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know about this team.
What else you got, Zila?
All right. No, you guys spent some time on this earlier. Actually, no, we did that. And we just talked to Andy Reid, so we'll skip that. Let me give you a couple of baseball things because Shohei Ohtani had himself an interesting night in Denver. It was his first pitching appearance at Coors Field, and it didn't go great as he gave up 5 earned runs and 9 hits in 4 innings. He also got hit in the leg by a 93-mile-per-hour line drive. Oof. Manager Dave Roberts on his decision to lift Ohtani even after he first left him in the game to get the final 2 outs of that inning.
I took him out because a little bit of the score, most part of it because it was getting stiff and there was some swelling there. So it was in the thigh, fortunately, and not off the knee. But it got him square.
A fleshy spot, though, so hopefully he'll be fine. It was 5-0 at the time. Dodgers end up losing to Colorado 8-3. Look at the Rockies all of a sudden. They won 5 out of 6 and 7 of 9 to, quote, improve to 37-90.
Don't let them get hot. Don't let them get hot.
This was the crazy stat that I heard earlier. The Dodgers have a record of 13-15 since the All-Star break.
Yep.
The Rockies have a record of 14-15. So technically, the Rockies have been better than the Dodgers since the All-Star.
And that 13-15 was boosted and propped up by the fact that I think they just swept the Padres, who won last night. So it's back to 1 game, San Diego behind L.A. atop the NL West there. Take it to Chicago, where the Cubs made it 3 straight wins over the previously red-hot Milwaukee Brewers.
And the pitch. Swinging a line drive. Base hit. Left center field. It goes all the way to the wall. 2 runs have scored. Shaw around third. He scores. 3-run double. Michael Busch. Listen to Wrigley.
They're all excited on Cubs radio. Chicago would hold off the Brewers 4-3.
Empty your diapers, everybody.
Yeah. And they will wrap up what is an unusual 5-game series this afternoon. It was a 4-gamer plus a makeup, and then they had another rain out earlier in the week. So Cubs are up 3-1 in this 5-game set. We did a little on the Yankees earlier. 5 more home runs last night in an extra innings win over the Rays, 6-4. Giancarlo Stanton, go-ahead pinch hit 2-run homer to put the Yanks ahead for good. You also had 2 homers apiece for Trent Grisham and Austin Wells. So look, I get stats sometimes can be a little misleading or very specific. A lot of years of Yankees history, a lot of home runs hit, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
First time in Yankees history that multiple players have hit multiple home runs in consecutive games.
That's surprising.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's
very surprising.
Rare, but they've had some major names and home run hitters across, more than 100 years now.
Thought you were going to say that was the first time a couple of mustache teammates go back to hit a couple of home
You know
runs.
what? That could be very true
Couple
as
of
well.
good-looking dudes, that's what I'm saying.
Grisham and Austin Wells love the bushy mustache.
Oh, so does Manny Rodriguez.
Yes, and you had rookie Cam Schlittler take a perfect game into the 7th.
No
His
mustache
best
for him.
outing not yet. Give it time. You know, you never know. These guys love a good mustache these days. And I'll finish with this. Should have gotten to it earlier. Some much-deserved love for Paige Beckers.
I was just about to ask,
Yes.
why have you not done Paige Beckers yet?
You know, a lot of things we get sidetracked.
We
and,
get sidetracked.
You know, a lot of things I don't get to that we push to the next hour, and here we are at 9:52. But
I
we'll
had
get
it all
in.
queued up to just tear you apart, CeeLo.
I'm glad I got to it before you could do that. 44 points last night, most by a rookie in WNBA history. First player in league history with 40 or more on 80% or better from the field. She was 17 of 21.
Caitlin who?
The problem is her team lost. Dallas lost to LA 81-80 as Kelsey Plum hit a shot just before the buzzer. So it comes in a loss, but an epic performance for her last night for Dallas.
Paige Beckers is like that. I mean, she's an absolute star, and it's going to be her league very soon.
Wait, is he actually? I thought the
Wow, there you
WNBA just suspended all action for the last 4 or 5 weeks. They're actually still playing
because of no Caitlin Clark. Yeah, well, there you go.
I mean, if Paige Becker's such a star, then why has WNBA become such a back burner?
I mean, it has nothing to do with. I'm talking about on the court. I don't care what you losers don't want to watch or watch.
Turns out they just broke another record of most attendance. So
his efficiency wasn't good and his field goal percentage and blah, 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 blah.
You don't care about the fact that nobody seems to care? I don't know if I believe it.
Well, this match me some numbers saying this has still been one of the most watched seasons ever. So this whole idea that nobody's watching has been overstated.
And in fairness, I did have it in every script each hour. I just hadn't gotten to it. So it's not like it wasn't on my radar, you know?
He knew.
Helo's like, don't blame me.
CeeLo's not some you're not a misogynist.
No, of course not.
Who is the? What was the name of that guy who had the no hitter
for the Yankees?
Schlittler?
Cam Schlittler.
That's a funny one.
You have to say that one very.
I think that was distracting a bit.
You got to be very slow about that one.
We have
Take
to.
your
Us
time.
producers have the dump button ready when it comes to Cam.
Yeah,
Cam
Ibuka and
Schlittler. Ibuka.
I'm not even
get rid
gonna
of the
say
G.
it.
Ibuka. Schlittler. Yes.
Woo,
Cam.
Tough one.
Rolls off the tongue.
Cam Schlittler. That one has not gotten me yet. Nor have I messed up Jazz Chisholm Jr., which is a big deal down the hallway
Yeah,
here
it
in New
is.
York at WFAN.
How about the Atlanta Falcons starting quarterback?
Michael Penix Jr. I'm also good at when there's a herniated disc injury. You got to overpronounce that one. Bulging disc as well. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Good
CeeLo.
time. See you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thank you, EJ Stewart. Thank you, Manny Rodriguez. Thank you, CeeLo. Thank you, Andrew Kaplan. Weedos, coffee drinkers, gummy eaters.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.